I feel
Okay, so we are back for our bridging session for the campaign. I'm just going to switch over so the players can see other players for a short time. So, it is session number 108 for the Friday Mystara campaign, which is also Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 19. The characters have just gone and avoided a all-out war with the giants, which was so close to happening. It would have been interesting to see.
No, not interesting.
Did I miss my 100th game for my character, or is that today?
I believe you may have. So let me go. I'll get to that.
no.
I'll look at that in a. Here we go. You're at game 103 today. So you are.
Wow.
Well, 103 for your character.
Damn.
So it was. Go backwards.
Wouldn't have been showy, right?
So that would have been on the 19th of January was your 100th session.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm using how the numbers work out that way.
Would that have
that's
been a
confusing.
Friday session or a Wednesday session?
Oh.
That was a Friday session.
Friday.
No, I think because I'm also getting confused with Pathfinder because I think my 100th game for that I think is next week.
Let's have a look at that one.
Unless it was last week and then I was really sad.
Nope, Dooza is still on 84.
Oh, 84.
Yeah, yeah.
19th of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that I hadn't had all the numbers sorted out to tell you beforehand.
Okay. So it's still a little ways off. Oh, well, damn, I missed my 100th, I had to say my 100th game for this character, but that's fine.
It's okay, I'm sure Josh still has a few to get through.
I definitely do.
Was that one of the games that it was the second game that Calcrix was there? So it was my 200th session and your 100th session. I'm like, for some reason that rings a bell.
Though I then found a couple more sessions for Carcrix beforehand, so...
Yeah.
So
Look,
the numbers do jump around a bit.
we can celebrate your 100th session still. It doesn't have to be on the actual day.
So yes, you have achieved 100 sessions with the character. That is an outstanding achievement,
Yay.
considering you've only died once.
Thanks for that reminder, Martin.
Always there to help.
Mhm.
So, with that, I'll introduce people around, and first up we'll go with M, and we can showcase M's current character stuff of gear, and at her 103rd session with her character.
So 103, I've only died once. I've learnt to live with my mistakes. As your invaluable cleric wizard.
Failed ranger.
Oh, come on. She's celebrating her 100th session.
Belated.
Belated 100th session.
Belated 100th session.
No, we did celebrate your 100th.
I might have missed that it was my 100th because we were congratulating Ariana on the 200th.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
200th overall from all games.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we shall introduce Chauvel. And
Hi,
Josh.
I play Chauvel. The Oh, dude.
On his 99th session.
Ooh.
Wait. It's gonna be extra than 100. Remind me in Fortnite.
Well, hey, you did pick up an extra session from Wednesday.
I did.
Yeah, I'm so not reminding. Just bye bye.
That's fine. I'll still scream it. Just like I'll always screamed failed ranger.
Also,
You are close to my heart as a failed ranger.
No, isn't her arrow close to yours?
No,
Yes.
that's embedded in my head.
Also online today we have Martin.
Playing a Kenzai monk of the Wood Elf brand, and just trying to take stock of magic items. I think I've doubled the total, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, well, you've noticed I've added a few things in there, which I'll run through with you soon as well. Okay.
Thank you.
At the table today, we have Gary playing Anton.
Yes, Anton, the Trelladaran warlock, who is not, and I repeat this, is not the Black Knight, despite what some people say.
Have you asked your
Denial.
patron yet?
I'm not allowed to know who I don't know who my patron is, and I'm told if I find out, I will become the Black Knight. So I'm not going to try find out.
You have no idea. It's got nothing to do with you.
Well, I have a suspicion who I think it is, but I'm not going to.
Okay, also at the table we have Ariadna.
She's still trying to squish into the camera. There you go. Calcrix, the white dragon with the jazz wings. You can never quite fit into the tiny, tiny camera on the table. Because she's a large size now. She's not entirely white. And she can hide that by not appearing on the camera.
And it's session 79 for Calcrix.
79 for Calcrix. Really?
Yeah.
How did I get 200 sessions then with only 79 for Calcrix?
200 sessions all up
Oh, okay.
in all the games you've played.
I can't remember the other
Hey.
characters I've played right now, although I'm sure they're important.
Okay, so if we look at you, we can simply say that's 78 for Calcrix, 62 for Thea,
Ah,
30
yeah.
for Thala, 27 for Shadowstar, 14 for Duke and Kova, 1 for Zarian, and 1 for Chauvel because she played,
I played Chauvel
Josh's
one
character
time.
one second.
Yeah. Who was the other one? That was the elk minotaur.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh, that makes sense. I was gonna say with Emmy's 100 sessions, is that different characters or is that all Zal?
That's all Zal.
Well, you see, your 100 sessions is way better than my 200 sessions because I haven't done 100 sessions of one character.
Now, if we do go to M, you can see that M in total has had 226 sessions.
Okay, wow.
That's really good. I should have finished with Calcrix.
In 5 years for that, yeah. So we'll go back to
So
Calcrix.
Calcrix spears is a white dragon, but you'll notice if you look closely, or not too closely, she's got black and blue scales in some spots. And I got the colour of her scars wrong last session. They're actually gold, my journal tells me. So she's got scars on her wings from the last battle with the Master that are all sort of gold scarring, and I believe there's a meaning behind that, but I don't know what that is yet. She has her little companion with her curled up on a horn that looks like a plant called Eep, who often erupts with phrases like death to the infidel and by Gorm. And not currently with her is her gnome companion Grindelwaffle Brewmeister, who's currently helping run her coffee plantation. I think that kind of covers it.
Okay, just going to make sure Jeremy can join us because he seems to not be able
Oh
to
no, we
see.
don't need Dimitri or Drachnama here. He's not essential to the plotline at all. And because he's not on yet, he won't hear me say that.
He will watch the video.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It depends. Does he watch videos he's participated in, or only those he's missed?
Good
Don't.
question.
If no one tells him, he's got no reason to.
But what if we're mischievous and say, oh, you got to see what happened at the start of the video.
He'll find a way to repay me, I'm sure.
Oh, you two, buddy, stop it.
Should make sure I
Nah,
respond.
I'm gonna go back outside. The puppy's gonna follow me, and it's gonna be annoying.
Okay, so Jeremy will hopefully join us soon.
I have just hold on.
And so, Jeremy, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Are we doing both characters?
Both characters, because it always comes in handy to hear both of them.
Yep. Okay, well, I'm playing the normal Tuesday night group. I'm playing Dracnima, who's started out as a watchman for the Akurigan tribesmen on the plateau for the Deer Clan. That has since been chosen by Akurigan himself, as well as a few other immortals, including Kar, to take on the role of shaman of the clans. So he had to actually develop his shamanistic skills, and also clan chief of chiefs, becoming chieftain of the Dragon Clan.
And since he's had the name Dracnima, he's made 30... This is his 38th session. Of course, not having a name, I'm sure, doesn't really count as part of his character.
Okay, he didn't start out with the name Dracnima, but hey, the name he had originally got lost in the Feyrealm to a dragon. So, but then Akurigan himself gave him the name of Dracnima, as in neighbour of dragons. Something else.
And so the other one you play...
Yeah. So yes, that's right. And do as part of his connection between both the dragon tribe and the human tribes and the human world, Kurigan and Tar and Pearl, in their infinite wisdom, decided to turn him into a half dragon, which is something getting used to. On the other side of the coin, Wednesday night, I play Dimitri, who is born as a Saldaran peasant, human, humble beginnings, and has always remembered his humble origins, and is always willing to help out others in providing the experience, knowledge, and sage advice that he's developed over time, becoming the obviously the most educated and intelligent person that anybody could ever meet.
As the only
Not
represent... Oh, sorry.
Oh,
You go.
I was going to say, not that he's would announce that or let people realise or anything like that.
I was just going to say, Martin McGlashan is the only representative of Wednesday's group. Does this ring true for you?
No.
Hey, it rings accurate for the description at the beginning of the Wednesday.
Well, yeah, for the first 5 minutes, and then it goes seriously offside. Yeah.
Okay, so as an example to all of you, I have had some stuff come back from one of the players for their description of their character. I may add some more stuff in there as we go. They may add some more stuff in there as we go, but this is just what I had in mind when talking about your characters. Is I'm going to try to stick the basic stuff up for you to be able to see what you are. So he's got human. He's basically the human of the fire type heritage, so appearance, coloration, and all that generally follow that. Not that you actually have to take the same aspects.
Okay. So Trolldarans are normally fire, are
Yeah.
they? Oh, okay.
Descendant of the Nithians.
Okay.
Which means more bronze sort of skin and all that sort of stuff. But just
Okay.
because they're more bronze sort of skin doesn't mean you have to go that
Yeah,
way.
it does typecasting.
It is.
Well, it's also one of the things that, in the case of Dimitri, he's got the fiery red hair of critical fire expected. But that's also got the disadvantage is the fact that, oh, you're advertising your weaknesses.
Yep. But there's always
So
some sort of
often
tell.
go around with disguise.
There's always some tell of what
Absolutely.
aspect and what racial heritage you come from, no matter who the parentage.
Yeah.
So, so that case, there would be you'd have the species of human, which will give some more details as I go out there. But I basically said, roughly at this stage, found in most places of the world, they're the most numerous race in this setting, able to adapt and survive in most climates than any other species. And basically saying each one gets a subtype and generally a culture associated with that. So all NPCs will follow these patterns
Okay.
unless they're exceptional. PCs can break those patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That's just basically
But very exceptional.
because they are more than exceptional. They are the heroes. Then the heritages will be, which I haven't got the information in there yet, will be like earth, air, fire, water, darkness, or the elements.
Mm-hmm.
Only elves have the elements as an option at this stage, and potentially the fairy dragon. Then the cultures will be the main national sort of beliefs. So, like the Trolldar still believe that they're separate to Karamikos.
We should be. We should be. Independent self-determination.
So because of that, that still stands as a natural culture, even though they were taken over and subjugated over 100 years in the past. But it's still something that they keep teaching themselves.
Yes, we haven't forgotten our heritage.
Troldaran rights.
Yes.
Well, I haven't done for it lately.
I was going to say, you're worried about your 22 items. Calcrix, not counting all of her gems and all of the scales, has something like 30 items.
Yeah, so you can't... I had trouble remembering them all.
Okay.
I want to focus on the cheesy bag.
I've been journaling, so I keep a list of my gear in the front of my journal.
Yeah.
So whenever I add new gear, I leave a few blank pages always at the start of my journal.
Yeah.
And I always add money because whenever you want a 24,000 coin item, it's good to know that you've got those 24,000 coins. And the first time one of these items turned up, I had no idea how much money I had. And the GM said, oh, well, if you don't know and you're leaving the store today, it might not be here next time you see it. You might not come back to the store for months. And you're like, I need to keep track of my money. So yeah, that's how I know what I've got. But I've also got like little things in here that Martin probably won't count, like my little animated obsidian horse given to me for my birthday, and the 4 agate stones that Zal gave me for my birthday as well. He's probably not going to count that as like gear. But I keep track of stuff I've collected because one of the times when the Dark Queen asked me to, what will I give up in return for certain knowledge, Calcrix parted with one of her dragon-shaped sapphire stones that she got when she was 3 months old. So it's like really tough for her to give it up. But it shows that if I have to give up something to a god, I can pick something that's got really personal, strong links to myself.
And so where I'm going with the stuff up here is convincing the players that to part with the things that they're not going to readily use, or that may be better for someone else.
I can use all of it. I sound like Dimitri.
With the idea that anything no one else grabs as immediate use can be collected from Drazzle.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
all 3 games have a minute. All 3 groups will have access to that pool of items.
That's all the stuff that I'm keeping track of. Some of that list though is just all my gold unadded up because I wasn't mathing. But there's still a list of question mark things that I've seen as items. So I'm like, if they come up,
That's okay. I added in a bunch of stuff from Jeremy, from Gary, and from Martin into these lists.
Yeah.
So quickly going through what we've got here for Anton, and I'll jump on to the others as we go.
Yeah.
Is that for his Rizu's dagger? So if you want to note down, it is F008. That number won't be changing. That's
So
basically.
that's what he's got, or what he's given up.
Oh no, that's what he has. That's
Has.
the Beaconstone dagger plus 1 of Earth.
Yeah.
That's the
So
one.
how do you get to that?
That is
and-
all on the test server at the moment. But to actually find that item is on the group page, which I'll send to the chat. And you can actually see the current published version of that.
And Zol can teach Anton everything about that dagger, because...
You stole it in the first place.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Is this
how I
the
got
one
it?
that you ended up having to do recompense for?
Yep, the
Yes.
exact same one.
This is the one where she had to go to a lot of trouble to make up for stealing that dagger, and now you've got it.
I thought I got it from the Earth cult.
You
what they
did.
call-
That's the people she
You
stole
did.
them from.
That's yeah.
You did.
So there is a lot of history of some of these items.
Okay.
Which is where the elves talk about that history being important.
So do you remember
Yep.
the session where Calcrix
So
read a
you'll
letter
find
out to
that.
her,
Yeah.
and then Zal took her aside and said, "You can make recompense for things like this.
That's
This is my
S08.
story. That's her story."
So
about
that would be
dagger.
the
Mhm.
version of it on the site that will be cleaned up, because that's a little too messy for me to actually have sitting there. You don't need to know all that information when looking at it. So that will be fixed for people on the next iteration.
Oh.
So at the moment it's only a simplified version because that's 2 days work. 1 day was
Okay.
just putting
That's
in
good.
what the
Thank
item
you.
was. Then his next thing that he was interested in was his cheesy bag, item F01E19, replacing one of the expendable item IDs. And so that's the bag of cheese from the Level Up treasure book.
There's nothing wrong with bags of cheese. They're very useful.
So if you want to find that,
Yeah,
it's
I
on
will
page
go look for it.
218. I can put the page numbers up there to make it easier for me.
Yep.
So some of these are just very simple items. Then his char hide, which is F060.
Mm-hmm.
Currently down as elemental smoldering hide armor of fire, but the fire will be replaced with darkness,
Okay.
simply because it suits what the appearance of the armor and some of the things it does. So the GM will make some changes here and there for items based on who has them. Next one is F061, the Chaldara Bane helm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the illusionary dread helm of the Black Knight.
Illusionary, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
it does create the illusion of the Black Knight. to
Oh,
whoever
okay.
sees you wearing it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So you literally are the Black Knight whenever you put it on, no matter what you believe or say. That's all people ever see.
Yeah, alright.
I did mention that a while back, but I didn't tell you exactly why.
Yeah, okay.
So my breakdown of each item says what they do. And the F073 is the Iron Fang you told me about.
Yep. That's one you gave me when...
From the Black Earth people.
Yep.
So that's a second dagger. So that's the...
Oh, it's a dagger. I thought it was an axe or a pickaxe.
Oh no,
or
actually that's a pickaxe, yes.
something.
it's the fire one that's a dagger.
Yep.
Then you've got the Rod of Smacking, which is F074.
Yep.
So that's Rod of the Pack Keeper plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which you may end up tossing back in depending on how you feel about it. Then you've got F075, the Bleeding Staff of Charming.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Ram's Horn Ring, which is F076, which is your Ring of the Ram.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Then next is your Black Bag of Holding, which is F077.
It's a black one now,
It
okay.
is a black one.
Just distinctive. We won't get mixed up with all those brown ones.
Yeah, all of them get their own name.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all unique.
Because they're all different.
Then you've got your bean bag, which is F078,
Yep.
which is your bag of beans.
Yep.
I thought bean bag was a better name to read.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It gives you always somewhere comfortable to sit.
Then you've got a T028, which is an Earth bracelet of rock magic.
That one I don't know what that is.
That is an item that gives you access to rock magic spells.
Oh, okay.
Just don't ever use it against a rock creature.
Okay.
Mainly going to flesh, or flesh that's going to protect.
Okay.
There will be a few other things it does as well. Then you've got the green boots,
Yep.
which is T042.
Yep.
They're the boots of Earth.
Yep.
Elvenkind boots of Earth. And T043 is a green cloak of protection.
Yep.
Which is also of Earth. Now, important to the storyline is T077, Tome of the Earth Lord.
That's new.
Yep, it is. So you know how you've been learning about the cults?
Yep.
That's who the cult follows.
Oh, okay. The Earth Lord.
The Black Earth follow him and his subordinates.
Okay.
Okay. So you've still got down the eye crystal, which is T082. I know Dimitri has access to other stuff, so he doesn't particularly need a second item to do some more things.
He'd still like it, but I'm just going to call someone who will probably get more value out of it.
Yeah. So you've also got a golden rod, which is W023.
Yep.
It's attached to another item, so it has no specifications for itself.
Okay.
I would like to put a note in here for the golden rod and for Zeligar's staff. Dimitri gave them back to Zeligar.
Yes, but the thing
As
is,
part of
so Jeremy,
as part of being essential for XQT.
so this is the GM pointing out that Zeligar would tell you off for not putting it into the war effort because he's not going to war. With the idea of helping people at war, not hoarding items.
Happy with that? Like if Gallagher's happy that let's do like it. If Gallagher effectively handed it in, that's fine. I
And
wanted to double check that it hadn't gone through academically.
he would want it back after the war,
Okay.
which would
So
be the same.
make sure you put the fact
Well,
that
if I survive and I still have it, yes, he can have it back.
Yeah, he knows there's a lot of conditions on it not coming back,
Yeah.
but just because of that doesn't mean he's not willing to put the effort in.
Sure.
happy with that. That's good.
So that would be the same with a lot of the items shifting around amongst people. Is this is not permanent. This is where they would most likely give the most benefit for the storyline, and claiming them back, not a bad thing, but trying to see that people can actually get as much as they can out of it. So W034, the Grey Cloak of Dark, is also an Orc Bane cloak.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
Okay, the W036 is a Dragon Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Is a Sentinel Draconic Rod of the Backkeeper +1. Though it says equals 1 up there, obviously my hand was hitting the wrong key. I forgot to press shift at the same time. And the one that Jeremy was talking about is W040, Zeligar's Stone Staff of Stone.
Stone, staff of stone.
Yes, it's a staff made out of stone that helps stone.
Okay. I'm actually going to have a huge problem with encumbrance.
You can though. The fact that you have the black bag means some of these things will just fit in there.
Yeah, I know.
Just don't stick sharp things in there.
I know, and also, but if I teleport or something, then I can lose it.
Yes, but you most likely lose the bag if you teleport whether something's in there or not.
Okay. Then I'll lose everything that's in there.
The bag stays behind.
Oh, the
Or
bag's
you leave them in the same place.
So if you teleport with a bag of holding, the bag of holding stays behind.
Yeah, okay. Including all the stuff that's in it. Okay. Yeah.
because teleport is a shortcut through the astral plane.
Mhm.
And so you can't stick astral items in an astral plane.
Yeah, okay. Okay. It does mean that even though there's a long list of items here, not all of them can be used at the same time.
Very few of them can be used at the same time, but things will work together. And so, Jeremy, some of your potions have been distributed amongst the groups to... you still got the lion's share of them, but 5 went to Anton and 5 went to Luell, so each group at least had a pile of potions available for the war effort.
I've got no real concern about potions, that's fine. There are actually ones that, as I said, there was a list of stuff that Mia had handed over. I thought, I don't know if it's got recorded anywhere else, so...
So it is S002. Basically, it's listed as a restorative because it's the basic potion of healing.
Yep.
Then you've got the Earth Charm, which is S005.
Page 238, right?
Yep. And you've got the No Charm, which is S022.
Okay.
So just so you know, the No Charm will either remove curse, dispel magic, or counterspell.
I'm assuming it's a one use.
Most charms are once use or limited use.
Yep.
So that's why it's in the S numbers, S numbering.
Okay. Thank you.
So just to make you interrupt for a moment, I'm assuming based on that comment, Martin, that you did receive my emails that got sent through last night after you sent the Facebook messages.
The only one I didn't do was your scroll list.
Yeah, no, that kind of more case of that. I wasn't entirely certain the emails went through because I was trying a different email address and I had to muck things around, so I got double check you got them. That's good.
I thought you would appreciate it. So now I'm going to jump over to Trellin. So just so you know, I've got this thing showing the different types of elves and where they actually have their cultures. So as a wood elf, he's basically a earth elf from Elfheim, because that was where he first made his character's connection as being an elf. Even though you did move over to the Kalari, you're still that's basically what the wood elf is. Though you were the you talked about being the high elf at one stage. So both high and so fire and earth are both in that same woodlands. And you talked about having. Did you want 3 fire or 3 earth? I had forgot to ask.
3 fire, but I don't know if level 12 makes a difference.
Level 16 will give you an extra one.
Okay, no worries. I'm happy with fire 3.
Okay, so I will expand this so you can actually see a bigger blow up of it. So it should hopefully be easier to read for you guys. So I've got, first one up for you is the Feodal arrow, which is the F052. So this is an unbreakable arrow. So using your quiver, you can fire this as many times as you want without fear of it being destroyed, unless it enters an anti-magic zone.
Okay.
Or a dragon grabs it.
Sorry.
All right.
The unbreakable arrows can be broken by dragons.
Oh, wow. See, I just heard the word dragon. I need to change my hearing aid.
It's all good. And so...
About half dragons.
What was that, Jeremy?
About by half dragons.
Quite possibly, because you still count as a dragon. And
Go
so...
on, fire it at Dragnoma. Just take it.
So, next thing we've got you down for is the Beacon Moon Touched Elvenkind Champion Mithril Scale of Feodal. A nice small little mouthful there.
I have no idea what that is. But...
So that's basically Elven chain that you can wear under other armor or treat it as light armor.
Well, the issue is that with Kenzai monks, they use dexterity and wisdom. So I don't know how that would clash with the dex and wisdom. Yeah.
I won't expect it to clash with that one by itself like that.
Okay.
So you should be able to still get the benefits of that and your dexterity and wisdom.
Okay.
As that's
The only time there might be a matter on the dexterity modifier of it, but if the armour provides the difference between the dexterity plus your wisdom, you're better off.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, the next one we've got you down are the Alpine braces. So those braces can attach to armor, and they give you bonuses to archery. So if you have advantage on a shot, it gives you expertise, and expertise can be increased, I think, 3 or 4 times. So if you get multiple expertise, they can stack.
Okay.
So what expertise does is, so if you got being granted expertise by something, it gives you a D4 to start with, then a D6 when it's upgraded, then a D8 if it's upgraded again, and I think you can go up to I'm not sure if you can go to a D10 or not, but
You can go to a D10 if you have specific powers normally at high levels.
yeah.
But it's normally a case of specific class abilities or something. Let you take a D10.
So that extra dice is then added to your D20 roll and counts as part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so then on T073 is your clan arrow of life. So it's the Theodil arrow of life. So that
why has that got a different number?
Because it's a completely different arrow. So
Okay, cool.
The other one is you're firing a magic arrow.
Okay.
This one is you're firing a piece of living wood from the tree of life.
Oh, okay.
So it would have a lot of reverence to the people that gave it to you.
Yeah.
And it is I considered a major relic of the elves.
Okay.
Basically, if you can wear some of their armor and carry some of their gear, that's not a hard thing to use as well.
So, supposedly there was a horse lord's arrow, which would have given me a advantage on dexterity.
So this one here does exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Advantage on the attack rolls every time. But I think that's been handed on to somebody else, who's hopefully also an elf.
Has been handed on to M's character.
The Horse Lords is the golden arrow, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or is it
I
different?
believe. There's a couple there. I'll get to that one when I speak to it on your M.
Okay.
But you
Alright.
got Trellan's other arrow in replace of this one.
Oh, right, okay.
Because you had this one, and this one really fitted with someone who's already carrying a lot of Theodil stuff. He may as well get more of it.
That's fine.
Okay.
What am as I said, I haven't really used many of my arrows, just as long as I had the golden arrow, which was had my mother's spirit bound to it, that's fine.
You'll not be losing that one. So this one is Theodil's clan Moonblade. Now, to put it bluntly, character on Tuesday night was not worthy enough to pull the blade out. So, you'd be advised not to pull the blade out unless you think the need is dire enough to pull out the champion sword of the clan.
Okay.
Which only you can
Yeah,
determine.
if he's got his flame tongue, but with his normal sword?
Yes, he still have that as well, he should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the bottom row. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this one is...
okay.
So this one would make your flame tongue look like it's a basic weapon. So it's a major artifact of the elves.
Okay.
There's only one of these blades per clan, and it's basically like a status symbol of the clan to hold it.
All right.
Then you ended up getting boots swapped with Dimitri because you were working with the Kalari as part of your Alvin settlement. That's where you stuck it. So swapping boots with Dimitri to get the royal boots of the Kalari sounded like a smarter thing to do if Jeremy doesn't mind. Did you
So it's like one of the things I ask. I thought it'd be put on the calendar. Did Dimitri end up with other Elven boots then?
He did.
He did. Okay. Does Dimitri certainly have any particular affinity or concern for specific Elven boots, as long as he takes the stuff into the basic things? That's all he cares about.
So we got to keep those without any problems. Which means you also got the flying broom associated with the clan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next thing you have is you've got Moon Touch, Warning, Short Sword +1 of the Dark. You wanted the secondary blade. So this is a dark blade, but to be perfectly honest, none of the other people would really be suited to it except for Sue's character, Imni. And
Okay.
as it is, worst case, it can be donated back in if you don't feel you're going to use it. But carrying around non-standard stuff is not bad if it's not as useful to everyone else. Not many people have the dark aspect who would use short swords.
Yeah.
Valkyries just uses his short claws. That'd be about as big as a sword,
So
right?
you've got Red Ring Staff on here as well, which your character's been carrying. And you've got the Amulet of Language of Thanatos, which I'm sure your character forgets you actually got carrying around an artifact of the god you beat up.
Ah, okay.
So the reason your character can understand and speak to any character in the game
Thank you.
is because of Thanatos.
It's herbal.
Yeah.
It's dark chocolate and strawberry though.
Okay.
So if you don't like it, let me know and I'll make you a pepper.
One of
No,
the things
Oh, so
for the cloak of displacement, it looks like you've transposed the fast travel cloak.
That is a cloak of displacement you got from the Hollow World.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
Remember, everything has a unique name, so it's not just the basic items anymore.
so
No worries.
Jumping to that one, that is the Road Guardian Cloak of Displacement, which was called the Fast Travel Cloak because its main powers are for fast travel. The fact that it does Cloak of Displacement is a secondary thing. So that's an actual Nithian item you have. The Hunting Quiver is the Quiver of the Hunt, which is in the level up rules. And that's the one that allows you to pull every arrow you fire immediately from the quiver. So
And is that so it would take an action, or just it would be there on every on every shot? So
unless you
like,
can fire 2 arrows at once, by the time your arrow has hit the target before your hand touches the quiver, it's appeared in your quiver.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So it's fine if you're doing 2 attacks. It won't be effective if you're doing a twin shot. You need 2 arrows to do a twin shot.
And luckily you have 2 arrows.
Cool.
That's right.
And there was a reason I had a few things floating in there. Then you've got your talking stick, your unbreakable staff of striking.
Yeah.
So having a talking stick around is always handy.
Okay.
Especially for a monk.
Calcrix wants a talkie stick, and she wants a rod of smack in as well.
And you've got the sneaky lantern, which allows you
That sounds fun
to.
too.
That's the one that has the ability to add color to dark vision and add light that no one else can see. So you could be sitting in the middle of a darkened room reading a book and looking at color, and no one can see a thing.
Awesome.
Next one is Trellan's evasion ring, which is the ring of evasion that you had.
Yeah.
Next up is the Eagle Eye Bow, otherwise known as the Eye Bow.
Yes.
Which you can get in the eye store.
Then you've got the Fire Sword, which is your flaming longsword.
Yeah.
Then Trellan's Portable Home, which is your flying carpet.
Oh. Right. So I had no idea what that
Carpet,
was.
wow.
That's okay.
And the reason it's called your portable home is because you tack it on the back of your broom like a caravan,
That's fine. That's
and you're good.
And the other thing is,
All right.
you've slept on it quite a few times.
Okay.
But this
I-
cold water
yes.
can be transparent.
The items do take on what you do with them. And then the Potion of Superior Healing is the Supreme Restorative.
All right.
So
now, I noticed that for Trellan's overview, you do need a blurb
I do.
to go up in the top box. Trellan's overview.
So feel free to
So
take your time
I'll
to
work
do
on
that.
that.
And if you also want to have a picture that really does suit your character, or just want me to use the one I'm using, just let me know, and I'll be adding that in there as well.
Oh, I'm happy with the one you've developed.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to Dimitri and then do the other two before coming back to Ariadna and then doing what Drazzle has, because there's probably a whole bunch of stuff in there now, thanks to Dimitri, that you'll be able to add in there. So, Jeremy.
There's no people recognise the generosity of Dimitri if you talk back to their talk.
Generosity, hoarder, not sure.
So, so with that, your Ild Sending Stone of Fire has been paired with you and Chauvel. So Chauvel now has it as well.
Okay, as opposed to be with the ship's captain in
Yeah.
Petrov.
The ship's captain is going to be doing some other stuff for a little while, and you may get it back off him after the war or middle of the war, but at the moment it gives you a chance to talk to Friday's crew.
And provide advice and information, I'll need that, yeah.
Yep.
Hang on, so that was the Ild Sending Stone?
Yep. And yes, the
As
other
opposed
stone's
to the
in there
Manaf
as well.
Sending Stone?
The other Sending Stone has also got stuff in it as well. You've ended up with the Proteus water bottle because, well, you have had a lot to do with Proteus over the campaign.
And that, the El Master bottle gone to someone else?
The Master's bottle has gone to Yodri because of Yodri's dealing with the crushing wave, because that is an artifact directly of the god who is overview of the crushing wave.
Okay. What you're saying is Dimitri gave up a more powerful bottle for a less powerful bottle.
For a good cause. I feel like we should be standing with on one of those hoarder shows where they help you part with your goods.
Well, Yell's diamond is mutually exclusive with the
You're just,
that other.
you're just doing the Marie Kondo can't live without.
It doesn't give you joy.
Haven't touched it. Haven't touched it in 5 years. Or doesn't give me joy.
It's been on my character sheet. It's mine.
The problem with Calcrix is everything gives her joy. It doesn't take much.
So
Well, no. The other thing, of course, with Dimitri is he's got a stronghold now. He's got to fill it with Udad.
and trophies.
Exactly.
That's some things.
And so your Krzeski ring is now listed as the Harmonious Krzeski Bone Ring of Resistance from the Vampire Lord Dracula of Traldar.
That's not a short
You got my uncle's ring.
Hey, my Richie was only an uncle.
Yes,
Wait, does that mean Dimitri and Zola are related? That's
Yes.
kind of scary.
they are.
Everyone seems to be related in this.
Well, if you go back far enough,
Drazzle's my brother.
yes. Drazzle's not related to any of them.
No, I'm the only one who's related to Drazzle,
Yep.
aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm dragon.
Okay.
Fairy dragon coming. Maybe you're going to meet another distant cousin.
So your Petra ring is the Petra's Bone Ring of Protection. Your Tumor Wand is the Tumor Bone Wand of Magic Missile. I could have put that into the pile of stuff, but I thought it's still useful enough to Dimitri to have it there.
Well, it's actually one of the things that, Dimitri obviously doesn't use it very often at all. And it's also one of the ones that obviously he can't make his missile very effectively anymore because he's so fire related, and so therefore not cold and force. Does it affect it from the wand as well?
It would, but you'll have other things that will make it easier.
Okay. Like if it did affect it from the wand, and therefore someone who was more cold, like force based, they could probably get more value out of it.
Well, Drazzle would get more value out of it being completely cold based. But so would Lani. And you've still got your Strong Hollow Goggles of Night.
Yep.
Funny thing is, Bradshaw's attached himself to the Strong Hollow clan, but he's got no Strong Hollow items.
That's interesting.
Well, he's basically associated with a completely different clan. So taking a different clan's gear is against some of their beliefs.
So, probably too much of a distraction for now, but why did he attach himself to that clan? Was there
Because
a
he
good
wanted
reason?
whim, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, that might put a ripple in his plans.
Yeah, so your Tralda bag is a sentinel bag of Traldara and Holding. So try to give them at least what they are. And your Book of Sleep is the Anthology of Enhanced Radiance from Level Up.
Okay, that's why. When you described it, I was thinking, I'm sure there was the name Radiant or something in there. So that explains it. Yep.
Yep. But I simplified it down to Book of Sleep because that's technically what it's all about. And some of these things you can share to other people during the thing. And you've still got your graduate's hat, which is the illusionary hat of wizardry for the Great School of Magic.
Yeah.
Your Mana Stone, I believe I've got that shared with someone. I think I've shared that
Under
with
Anton?
either Anton or Llewell.
I was listed under Anton as well, so...
Was it?
What about the-
or at least, notes that listed under Anton. I thought, hang on, what the...
No, it wasn't. It was the
Let me just check.
golden bracelet of no. It was the stone. It was a staff.
No, yeah, you don't have the mana thing down there. I'll quickly check and see if I stuck it under Llewell.
I mean, like, they all tend to probably go to Llewell on the idea that if I've got the Ild Stone with ready...
Yep, it's down there
Because
with
that
Llewell
was
as
Noel,
well.
wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ildstone is
Yes.
with Chauvel, and the Mana
Chauvel,
Stone
yeah.
is with Llewell.
Gotta find my Mana Stone, where do I put it?
Which I'm
Sorry,
sure
the
you'll
Ild
have
Stone.
fun.
Conversing?
Yeah, Dimitri explaining.
Oh, and then Llewell
So
explaining.
Mana Stone is paired with Llewell.
Yep.
They could almost explain to each other
Llewell.
exclusively.
And...
The Ild Stone was with
is ending
Chauvel.
on my list. Oh, there it is. So the other standing stone would be Ild Stone.
Something moved.
Yeah, something shifted.
It may have just been the window cooling down.
I'm hoping it was.
And that was paired with
That's right.
Chauvel, wasn't it?
Yep.
About 2 years
And how am I going to talk to
the bookshop.
my ship's captain and to the King of Westland there?
They were bolted to it, but then they got rebolted.
Well, I believe you still have the King of Westlands.
You know how when you hang a
If you
picture
look
up, it
down, you
drops
see you've got the
down?
Kingstone.
And then you hang it up with 2 hooks.
Mm.
They did it
Oh,
like
okay, so that's a second one again. Okay.
So you've got 3 Talkie Stones.
Ah, wow. It's important that Dimitri are between knowledge and understanding.
And I thought me having 2 sets of talking stones, 2 sets of 2 sending stones was a lot. You've got 3. I'm
Yep.
good. I don't have to justify myself anymore.
So you've still got the Halev relics and the books of Halev, which means you can't
Yep.
carry books of another god
Okay.
because those books don't.
That's right. But in the library at correctly check. Yeah.
Anything you think you don't need to carry with you will most likely end up, thanks to Drazzle, with someone else.
Yeah.
You know what he's like. He's more than happy for pinch from the dead. He's even happier to pinch from a shelf or a mantle. And so you've also got the Amulet of Language from Thanatos. And
It's not used. Does it tune too? It's a curiosity.
there are no attunements required to use it.
No, that's right.
It's the Myrtles after all. Every taste is free.
Uh,
And then you become reliant upon it and realise you can't speak a language without it.
That's right. Dimitri's far too plentiful for that trick.
And then you've got the I Told You So wand, which is the wand of
Yep.
erudition.
Yep.
I thought you'd like the name. You've got Yelm's Diamond down still, though you may find others may get more out of it, such as M down the track, even though you may want it back.
But considering the fact that he mostly uses it as another talking stone, so he can talk to Yem down in the Hollow World.
Then you've got the Amulet of Hydra Kraktos, which the details of yet are just down as, well, that'll happen eventually.
Well, I put it on the list thinking, it's a bit of my character sheet or something. Hey, you get that from, I can't remember exactly which one it was when we were doing it, but apparently it was important to his quest. Which quest? Not certain.
And then I've got so you'll find I've got some details there, such as paired with the King of Vestland for that one.
Yep.
Too many quests.
You got the Pearl of Power still.
Hey, I got a Pearl of Power.
He's got the Dwarven Pearl.
Ah, nice. Which one do I have? We'll get to that later.
You'll get to that later. Then you've got the House Gillian ring. If that does something, you'll find out later. All house rings. Yeah, all house rings will do something, but won't actually help much. You've still got a Cloak of Displacement from the Dragon Tree Chapel. You've got Liquid Climb. You've got your 7 restoratives. You've got your greater restorative, 2 of them.
Yep.
You got your Liquid Stealth.
I was going to say, I should probably start looking up all my
And the Liquid Courage.
Well, it's not all of them here, just some of them are in here.
So that pretty much covers most of the things that didn't end up being put in the pile for maybe someone else or listed with someone else.
Did the Elven boots, did you swap with Trellin for the royal boot? Like, he swapped his royal boots with...
There were quite a few different choices, so I was going to see which one you preferred out of what was
Okay, right. At this stage, I would leave it down as boots of Elven Pine. Be determined.
And Draknamir got a book on Dragon lore from Zal. Because, your Dragon Clan, he would come in handy.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's become a level 3 initiate in Dragon Secret Craft now.
So this one's specific history dating for 2,000 years ago. So Dragon Lore during the Third Rise of Humanity. You've still got your Preserver's Blade, which is the Bane Laminated Longsword +1. I left off the Plant Bane part, but we'll get that.
Yep.
You've got your Cunning Rod, which is the Cunning Tools from Level Up.
Yeah.
So you actually find that in Level Up.
Okay.
You've got your Moon Ring, which is the Ultec Jade Moon Ring of Resistance.
Yep.
You've got the Guardian Ultec Jade Braces of Defense. Which is the T25.
Yep.
T26, which is the War Leader Ultec Jade Panther Ring of Animal Influence. Which is rather specifically suited to Etruagan people because of War Leader and Animal Influence.
Why he claimed that some Graggle got it level up.
You've got the Hutakan necklace, which you don't want to get anywhere near Dimitri or worry about it being destroyed. Racial enemy. Much like the Halflings hate the Dwarves for enslavement, the Traldarans hate the Hutakans for the same thing.
We put up with it from the bottom. Nothing we can't get around yet.
Well, look, as much as you hate the Thyatans, you'll be treating the Thyatans pleasantly in comparison. That's how much you hate these people. Yet they had completely crushed your people's lifestyle. You've still got your tattoo, which was the Electrum Aspan of Basat.
Yep.
You've got your Iron Stone of Sustenance, which used to be one of Neri's items.
Okay. That's admittedly one that he would be, well, it can't be fair to have, because I'm assuming like a dragon, he can actually effectively scale like an Ironstone. But on the same token, it's one that he could go without, because he's still immune to starvation anyway.
So, okay, so we can toss that in the pile for people, because if it's that not useful to you, then...
Well, like, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming immune to starvation means that, well, you still want to be fed, but and the Iron Stone of Sustenance will mean you automatically fed. Yes, you don't actually suffer ill effect if you're not getting fed, and hey.
But hey,
exactly, I should be able to find food in most circumstances.
so someone who's likely to be away from a food source that sustains them would be a good one to give it to.
Yeah, no, so I'm happy that it can go to somebody else.
Then you've got your Happy Stick, the Attention Stick of Healing and Recovery.
Yeah.
Then you've got your Justice Gloves, which is the True Weight Gloves from Level Up.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your Styling Wig, which is your Wig of Styling from Level
Up. I'm thinking when we were talking about that, when we were talking about that on Wednesday, we were tossing up between Dracnima and Dimitri, and I personally went for Dimitri rather than Dracnima.
Okay, so...
I think I doubled it that way.
I can do that.
I gave it to Dimitri on the idea that he's going to get more concerned about the colour of his hair sometimes.
Okay, then we had the music book, which was the Hymn Divine Spellbook of Song, which suited your style of prayer.
Yep.
And the Solo Drum, which is the Inspiring Pahu from Level Up.
Yep.
So that went through those fairly quickly.
Inspiring. There's a couple that I'm curious about then. The Stone Scale of Good Luck.
I'm going to suggest putting that out there for potential others.
For him, he actually gets effectively a +2 or even a +3 bonus instead of just a +1.
Remember that I have mentioned to people a few times now, the relic abilities are all going to change come to the new site.
Okay, right.
So all the relic stuff will be related completely to secret crafts.
Okay then. But then, well, again, being a dragon secret craft and potentially able to effectively attach it to his skin, I would have thought it was still valuable for Dracnima.
Okay, so which ID was that again? What ID was that again?
T016.
I don't think it's assigned to anyone at the moment, so we can just mark it.
Yeah, it was listed on the Dracula at a certain time.
Yep.
Or at least on the Facebook stuff you sent through. It was not the Dracnima on the original map.
Okay, so which one wants it first, Zal or Chauvel?
What is it? I don't know. I can't.
Going through their characters.
Yeah.
So
okay. It would good like to hang on to it. If you prefer to keep it.
I've marked it down for you. Now I'm just going to jump over to Em and Josh first, and then do what Drazzle's got.
Well, there are a couple other items that appear to have lost from Dracnima that I'm surprised on, like the Eagle Whistle.
The Eagle Whistle. You've got wings now, remember?
Yeah, but it's still very appropriate for a Kurigan.
It is, but also appropriate to a lot of
other
people.
Lets you fly faster than wings.
Am I right in saying I'm the only one who can't fly?
You're one who can't fly. Lani can't fly.
It's the exception
Imni
then.
can't
Okay.
fly. So it's about a third of each group can't fly.
Okay.
Sometimes half of each group.
The mantle of the ignoble wolf.
You said you said your character was only going to put that on the shelf and not use it.
He chose the map. It was on Wednesday we talked about putting something on a shelf that was an item. I think it was an item that was anti-intuitive.
One was the Berserker Axe, was one you're going to put on there.
But, yeah.
And a few other things that you.
He doesn't use the mantle very often, but he does carry it.
Okay, so which was the whistle again?
The whistle was T30. Now again, obviously, if it decides to go to somebody else,
and what was
is willing to hand over, then Dimitri is. But I'm just checking.
What was the mantle as well?
The wolf is T35.
The main reason that they were put on there was because, one, you have many shape change natural abilities.
Yep.
Two, you have flight where others don't.
Yep.
And
okay, like if it is the idea of it's the beneficial for fighting the war, but again, Dracula would like them back again when the league is less required.
I have no problems with any of that. And that was what I was saying as the concept of these items are going out to people to help them with the war. Whether they stay with them remains up to the players and their characters. So getting them back is the
consider the ones
thing.
I've got are just a temporary loan, a borrowing, and they'll be returned if I can return them.
And that's cool. It's well, I guess it's the sort of thing that, hey, if anything was phoned to Dimitri, then it might be hard to get back off him.
Dimitri is like a crowbar to get anything off him, including payment for goods.
And obviously, like I mentioned in the email type stuff, currently, you've already the leaf boots of Elvenkind and the leaf mail.
Yep.
You've now moved those to under Grackle because obviously they go together. But Actimba would certainly like a pair of Elvenkind boots back again at some point.
He does have a big pile of boots there.
I think Dimitri's going to need a bookkeeper to keep track of everything.
Well, each thing's going to have a history of who had them.
Okay.
So when you look at an item, you'll see who last had it. So if I go over to this one here and I go into here, well, any of these, and go down, you'll see that they have the owners at the bottom.
Okay.
And it even says that was returned by Zal. Not that Zal returned it, was returned, and Zal was the last owner, and then Anton got it.
Okay.
So the new stuff will have that information there too. So first thing up on M's list is your Gleaming Beacon prophetic golden arrow of the Golden Khan.
Way.
Otherwise known as Cheval's Bane. Then you have a Griffin Pouch, which is a metamorphic sentinel pouch of the Horse Lords.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a spice pouch that counts as magical components. So non-gold piece valued items can be stored in there and brought out as need and don't add to bulk.
Nice. That's super handy for a lot of my spells, though.
Then Father Skull is the ancestral sentinel drift globe.
Mm-hmm.
The black spellbook is your black arcane spellbook of Zal.
Mm-hmm.
Though for some reason I lost the last L, I'll have to find it somewhere.
Great.
Wandering in the forest.
Yes, I'm sure it's wandering somewhere else. And so the Jihad arrows are the stone arrows you collected from the place you found Calcrix.
Yep.
So technically, you're related to that clan. Amusingly enough, Bradshaw's also related to this clan, but Bradshaw doesn't care about history as much.
Yeah.
One of the ongoing stories with Bradshaw is that at one stage his mum told him an awful lot of important stuff, and he remembers his mum talking to him and his mum finishing. What happened in between was just a blur.
There was important stuff there.
One of the things she told him... Go, Jeremy?
I was going to say, it's obviously part of the reason why he never listens to Dimitri, because he never listens to anyone who's better and more informed than he is. Even when he was a baby.
And so one of the things he was told was that the goat he was given to ride, and that he all he remembered was he had to really look after it, was because it was his brother who'd been polymorphed. And so he'd been treating this goat badly, and he'd been treating him badly for something like 20 plus sessions, probably closer to 40, before he found out that it was his brother. So
And even then, he jumped out of a flying ship and set it on fire with a burning bomb.
He did. Okay, so your store book is your book of storing from Level Up. The Hercule spell book is another one of your arcane spell books. The other spell book you had was actual nature magic, so I shuffled that one over to a different character because you wouldn't have been able to prepare it anyway.
Yep, that's fine.
You know your safety cup?
My safety cup. Love my safety cup.
You have the Erendil White Clan Arrow of Life. So you still have a Arrow of Life. So that one is don't lose that arrow, or you'll make a lot of people unhappy with you. So the Red Arrow, which is quite funny because it's a Red Arrow clan, has the clan arrow that's unbreakable. So that's the standard one you'd probably use if you're going to intend on recovering it.
Yep.
And you've got the Ravenloft symbol of the Raven Queen, even though I spelt it incorrectly. SMYBOL doesn't seem right. We've got your Gloves of Swift Return, otherwise known as Flick Gloves. You flick it and it comes back. You've got your Wind Fan, which is good at gusting things. Why it's called the Gusting Fan. You've got your...
I can always have an updraft.
You've got the Unseen Book, which is Mental Divine Spellbook of Thoughtful Preparation. Pretty much you can sleep on the book to prepare.
I need that book.
As long as you're touching the book, you can prepare from it. You don't even have to have your eyes open.
You sure?
Is there a list of spells that come with that book?
That one is a blank book. You can put whatever spells you want in.
Oh, sweet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there,
Hi.
Izzy. Did you have a good time at the party?
Yeah. Look, it was nice dinner, but it was exhausting. So I'm glad to be home and settling in now. So.
All good. Once you've got a little while until I get to your character, because we're just going to do Josh after M, and then you'll see what has been added to Feyre.
Sounds good.
So you've got the Elemental Cloak of Protection in Air. You're given the Gleaming Coral Ring of Jumping in Air. You got the Book of the Sphere of Thought. Considering you're air aspected for a lot of stuff, that is the ultimate book of air.
Nice.
With that, you have the Book of the Air Lord, which is the person who the Feathergale Knights are immediately responsible to. So he's the top of the hierarchy of the Howling Hatred cult. Though he does have a couple of elemental princes below him. Then you've got the elemental sensor of air, allowing you to commune with air creatures. Now this is the one thing that was on Dimitri that Dimitri can try to claim back, is the Vin Necklace of Adaptation and Air. It was will be very useful if it ends up with Zal than Dimitri, but Dimitri can claim it back if he really needs it.
Well, Dimitri certainly likes having a necklace of adaptation. don't care so much about the rest of the stuff, but the ability to breathe and normally and things like that is always something he's been using since the first, very early in his campaign. Look how used to having it.
He has, so it's a big ask, but it does have the air rune on it, specifically.
But he's going to be to start studying wounds.
Zol promises to look after it and give it back at the end of the war.
So you'll find out why that's going to be important in the next storyline, but having a couple of people with quite a few elementals types mixed together will come in handy. Then you've got the second arrow of life. This one's the Horse Lord's one, so you technically have 2 arrows of life, plus the red arrow.
Yep.
Which is amusing that it is repetitive, even though it's technically clan plus the word arrow.
Yep.
The red arrows. Arrow.
Yep. Then you have also been given the dark longbow, because you didn't actually have a magical bow listed down on that. And
No, I haven't only had just a normal short bow.
And to be perfectly honest, Imni doesn't use a lot of ranged attacks. Or, as unfortunate as it might be, Imni hasn't had a chance to attack a lot recently, so not knowing if you would actually use ranged attacks is one of those questions.
Yep.
But you have magical arrows, so those things together is not a bad thing.
Yep.
After that, we have the Griffin saddle. So a cavalier's saddle, specifically designed for griffins.
Considering one of your mounts is a griffin, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm sure it will make all your other animals jealous that your griffin gets the magic saddle.
Well, I mean, I handcrafted the saddles for Artemis Jocko, so I don't know. Would they feel sentimentality towards that?
It depends if they say shiny.
Shiny.
I don't know. Therion and Bastion both got a furry brown blanket given to them when they're kittens, and they always knew whose blanket was whose, and in preference to any other surface, Therion will literally sleep on the space of a pin if there's just a bit of that blanket on there. So I don't know, they might actually be attached to their saddles.
Maybe.
And you've got the Griffin braces of archery. So that will give you advantage on using your bow. And if you've already got advantage, give you an expertise dice. And so you've also got the air charm, and I believe you had a scroll. I'm not exactly sure which one, but I will go back and look that up later. So they're the things I had earmarked aside and updated for your character, as well as moving the fact that your aspects, even though you were human with an earth aspect and the Ethengaran culture, you ended up with 2 lots of air and 1 of entropy once you joined the Feathergale Knights.
Yeah.
Okay, so just gonna do Josh, and then we will do our Fairy. It is handy now that I can navigate through everything a lot faster. I actually built that navigation about 10 minutes before the game started. I've got a lot of patterns I built into the site, so by following the pattern, it was drop, rename, work, fix errors, then deploy. So Chevelle has a lot less items. First thing up is his War Leader's vestments, which do the yelling of Paladin anytime anyone can see a part of the vestment.
But didn't that stop at one point?
There's also people couldn't see the vestment.
Ah, okay.
So there were a few things that made it stop, but the GM wasn't telling everyone all the rules.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, it's kind of suited, though, that a paladin doesn't have as many items, too. Is that right?
It is true. He's also got the brass ever-smoking bottle of fire, because I'm sure fire bombs will come in handy. He has the shared Ild Sending Stone of Fire with Dimitri. So I'm sure Chauvel will send a lot of paladinic instructions to Dimitri on how to behave.
Well, the real problem with sending stone is you've got to do it 25 words at a time, and that can take so much time and effort.
And then also has the party one, the Pyrotechnic Wand of Fire.
I was just going to say, with the sending stones, you said there's 25 words, but is there a character limit? Because I'm not sure how many A's you can fit in Paladin.
10 at the moment. Apparently, it's 10. 10 A's.
It's 12. It's 12. It's 12 now.
It's 12 now.
Is it?
It's supposed to be 1A per
level.
level.
It's supposed to be 1A per level. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but also remember
that knowledge using Dimitri's power to send knowledge.
Only if you can see them.
Oh, okay.
Because the I told you so wand only works on those you can see.
Okay. No worries.
In answer to the question about the fact that it's a 25-word limit and not necessarily a character limit, believe me, Dimitri's definitely tested out the character limit. It's like a big word short, looks 12 words, 12 letters long each.
Okay, so with the after the party wand, you got yourself the Secret Craft of Fire 4th Circle book that you've had for quite a while.
Woohoo!
And you ended up with the Rainbow Plate.
Of course, dude.
The Unbreakable Rainbow Plate of Celestial Aegeus from Level Up.
Good luck. That's a nice item.
Because hey, you're already on the way of becoming a angel. You may as well wear Angel Plate.
Nah.
You've got the Red Cloak of Protection and Fire.
Yep.
Tome of the Fire Lord, the person in charge of the Fire Cult, Eternal Flame as they're called.
Yep.
So he also has subordinates like the others, but he's the one at the top of the hierarchy. Okay, then you ended up with the Peekaboo Shield of Fire.
Yeah.
Even though it had been dropped on someone else, I thought, well, it actually is another fire item, and you can use shields.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can have a lot of fun with making it show different expressions to people.
Oh, definitely.
You ended up with a Flamish Dagger of Fire.
Of course.
Which is an actual Genasi item.
That's a long-term item of Dimitri that he's so generously and willingly given up.
I'm sure that there's a couple of tags attached to it saying property of Dimitri, don't lose it, I know who you are, I'm going to come down and track you and find you if you lose it.
Absolutely.
We have noted Dimitri's generosity.
Which is one of the reasons why I gave Chauvel the other end of the sending stone for Dimitri.
No.
Have you still got my dagger? Is it still there?
You can keep track of it.
Oh, I left it at camp about 7 stops back.
So you also have a second rune of fire, this time in the Circle of Blasting. So carrying 2 runes of fire is more than anyone else has got for runes. And you have the fire charm.
Yay.
So that basically covers everything I had put aside for Chauvel, if that's okay with you, Josh.
That's fine. That sounds like a lot of fiery things, which sounds brilliant.
Well, it does suit what you're doing, and very few things will be immune to an element. So I'm very careful not to stick in immunities because I think that's just a bit cheesy on the DM side because it can always make someone redundant.
Yeah, fair.
Besides,
they've got multiple elemental aspects for that particular one.
yeah, unless of course you chose to go up against fire elementals, in which case, well,
Exactly.
Well, in that case, radiant damage.
So for our new fairy dragon, we have the Bone Skull Medallion of Thought, because hey, that will always come in handy.
We just want a little baby trickster poking around in their brain.
We have a Birch Wand of Entanglement, which is being taken from Zal.
Cool.
Zal had been carrying that for a long time.
I've had that for a very, very long time.
Yep. You ended up with a book on beast lore in the Durakan region, which is a region that your character's grown up in.
Durakan region. Alright.
Yep.
Sounds good.
You got a spell book for druids from someone by the name of Balak the Outcast, which also came from Zal.
Neat. Thanks.
You got your colouring book, the Compendium of Many Colours from Level Up.
Compendium of Many Colours.
Otherwise known as the colouring book.
Excellent.
You've got your Cup of Dreams, which is the Dream Scrying Bowl from Level Up.
Dream Scrying Bowl, Cup of Dreams, yep.
You've got your Resplendent Gown, which is your Prismatic Gown from Level Up.
Yep.
And you've got your Dragon Robe, which is your Blissful Sentinel Dragonkind Robe of Mending.
Alright, that's a lot of words. Cool.
There are some that are worse than that one, so that one doesn't go to the end of the section of the screen. Others actually go past it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so they're the things that be marked specifically for your character. The other ones are going to be with Drazzle, so if someone thinks that they can use these items straight away, in general, feel free to speak up. Otherwise, you can grab them when you need it. So, first one is the Unbreakable D6 of Redtooth. Redtooth is the vampire lord that we have two characters descendant from. Zal being one of them.
Oh.
What does it do particularly?
If you have a D6 in play, you can use that as one of the D6s to break the fourth wall, and actually choose the dice roll.
Cow Creeks wants that just to break the fourth wall, but that's it. Probably not appropriate for her.
I mean, I don't know if I have anything really that uses this. I think most of my spells use.
I was just gonna say, can you imagine Cow Creeks and Eve breaking fourth wall?
Well, anytime you're required to roll a D6 for something, it can be used.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you have D6 hit dice, then that's perfect.
Or if you have D6 inspiration die.
Yep.
I do have D6, not an inspiration die, but hit die. Okay.
Oh, you got D12 for Calcrix. It's D12.
Now,
Hit dice.
has
Yes.
it changed?
No, it was always D12 for Calcrix.
No, because I pulled out D6 for quite a few of my spells.
Oh no, this is not for your spells, for your
Oh,
hit dice.
this is for people to hit you.
No,
not
this
for you to hit
this is from where you. So
No,
when you have a
hit
short
point.
rest, you can roll your hit dice,
Right.
which is your dice that build your character's hit point total,
Oh, okay.
and you can use that to recover
So
hit
many
points on a
things
short
called
rest.
Hit something.
Yes,
Yes.
it's one of the issues we have with D&D in
Yeah.
general is they use level in many places.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Now, I thought you meant like when I roll my d6s after I've done a spell, of which I rolled an awful lot, and I'm like, well, that'd actually be very useful, but no.
It would only be one of those D6s. Like, you could use it in that situation, but it would only be one of the D6s you roll for the spell.
Yep.
But still, when you roll 4 1s and a 2, changing one of them to a
Yeah.
6 would make a big difference.
Yeah. There's
I
also
would say-
some expertise dice. If you get 2 lots of expertise dice with the one check,
Exactly.
it goes in with a D6. Then it's really useful.
Yeah.
A D6
So that's
is an
what I
automatic
was
six.
most before.
But you were saying that's more an Emmy, Zal.
It's probably best suited to Yodri because
Oh, okay,
of
yeah.
halfling luck and all that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, the other one would be, like in the case of Jack Nimmer, he could use it for some of these expertise dice. his sneak attack die, his hit die.
Though, in general, Jeremy, your sneak attack dice should be the same as the weapon dice. So,
okay.
whatever weapon, instead of specifying specific dice when you get bonuses to stuff, I'm just saying it's the same as whatever weapon you're using.
Okay.
GM trying to simplify things a lot better, so a dagger will do less damage from sneak attack than a great axe. But hey, if you're going to sneak up someone with a great axe, I expect it to do a lot of damage.
It's probably more factor is you can't normally sneak attack with a great axe, simply could be in the same way that he can't sneak attack with his longbow, his preserved blade. But he can sneak attack with his longbow, which gives him a D8, that's nice.
I thought you'd appreciate the way it does work most of the time, but not for others.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that there as a case of people may be able to call upon that from Drazzle if they feel a need.
Yeah.
Next one is Yodri's Gauntlets of Ogre Power. So they may end up going back to Yodri before they're available to other people. But I'm just going to go through and figure out how Gauntlets of Ogre Power are going to be used going forward, because the previous way of working these was they replaced an attribute.
Right.
Yeah.
So, levels 1 to 5, very useful. Levels 6 to 10, levels 11 to 20, not really useful.
Although for those of us with a strength of 8,
you won't have a strength of 8 soon.
won't I? Oh, okay.
By the time you've recalled your character called the level up, you probably have
I was built on level up.
I mean, using what I've given people for attributes, because I've had it to spread out over 30 levels, not over 20.
Okay.
So you'll be ending up with better attributes, because once you get to a certain point, you can buy them over 20.
Okay. All right.
So, which will be looking at attribute bonuses, not attribute scores.
Okay. All right.
So, the gauntlets will get a re-look at. Next up is the leaf scale that Dimitri...
Sorry, Martin, before you go past that one.
Yep.
Does that imply then, I noticed in the mech with the Strong Hollow amulet that Dimitri's had for years, it was listed in the next item list as a periaptive wound closure rather than the amulet of health, that he's been using it over all this time to get constitution of 19 or +4.
Do you remember which number it is?
W11.
That's where I was on.
Like I said, he's had a long time.
So, you thought it was the Amulet of Health?
Yeah.
Okay. Just getting the ID again, because for some reason the older version didn't put the ID on it very well.
We're in the centre to increase your constitution score to 19. There's no
Exactly,
effect
yeah.
constitution score is equal or greater than 19.
Yeah. So I'll be looking at, again, reworking those
Have a
things
look at it, yeah.
to make useful in the system where you guys are heroes and you have outstanding scores, because you're not expected to be crippled.
Yep, yep.
Because crippling
Yeah,
a crippled character is not a fun character.
And certainly in the case of Dimitri, obviously his constitution has gone up from what it was originally under the level up, but he's still been not putting a priority to increase his constitution because he's had the amulet.
Yep. So we'll look at that. Because the Fortitude Gauntlets is the same as the Smart Circlet that Zal had.
Yeah.
Intellect Enhancing Circlet, because they basically give you a set score and that's
The
it.
smart circlet. What happened to that?
I put it into the Drazzle pile because technically by the book it gives you a set attribute bonus, and if you're lower or higher than it, it's supposed to replace it.
Okay.
Though new wording says if your score is higher, it ignores it. But older versions of it said it replaced it even if it was higher. So if you had a +5 and it gave you a +3, your +5 became +3.
Yeah.
So I have a question with that. I thought I was still using that.
When we look at doing your increases, we'll determine whether or not you still want it. So I've just moved it there for the moment to see if there's something I can do to make it work better.
Okay, sweet.
In between, we have the mithril scale now, so that would become light armor for scale, because it's medium armor normally. So those of you who can wear light armor can make use of that.
Yep.
I'm a dragon. I don't need armor.
Then
right?
you've got the unbreakable long runner arrow, which could either go to any of the archers, assuming it may end up going back to Zal, but it might also be useful for Trellin, depending on multi-firing arrows.
What does it do? It allows you to.
Unbreakable arrow.
Yeah.
So
And certainly under level up, you've got a high chance of getting some skills like that. So having 3 or 4 unbreakable arrows in your quiver that keep coming back to would be advantageous.
Well, the Horse Lord's arrow
Yep.
would be... So is it coming back in the middle of the action?
It's coming
Or-
back at the end of the attack.
End of the action.
Not end of the action, at the end of the attack. So if you have... the action is multiple attacks, but
Yep.
if you can do, in a single attack, multiple firings with the same attack, then it won't come back until the end of that attack.
Okay.
So there are special abilities that allow you to fire more than one arrow as a single attack, dealing extra damage to the same target.
Right. So I have a bonus, an action that gives me makes my actions let me fire 2 arrows.
Yep.
But that's different.
So if an action allows you to fire 2 arrows, then or you're talking about you have two attacks, so you can either do 2 arrows or 2 sword strikes.
That's the latter.
Yeah. So if it's the 2 arrows or 2 sword strikes, the arrow will always come back. But sometimes you can do the equivalent of twin arrow, in which case you need 2 arrows to do it.
Like putting both arrows on the string at the same time and shooting both at the same time, as opposed to firing 2 arrows in rapid succession.
And there's also a rapid shot one that will fire 2 arrows at once, but
Exactly.
the arrows will both be in flight at the same time.
Yeah. So you couldn't use
That's
your
quite
single
confusing,
force
so I'll just let that go this time.
Okay, so Em, did you want the long runner's arrow back in your quiver?
I mean, if no one else is going to use it, I'll take it back for now. But if anyone has interest, I'm sure it can be arranged to be moved around.
Okay.
How does it work?
It's just an extra arrow sitting there for when you can do more than 1 arrow in flight.
Yeah. It might have a slightly longer range potentially, but in your case, that can't be a factor.
Well, it's like, so my Eagle Eye longbow is about 1,500 feet, and I've got the sharpshooter feet, so there's no real advantage for cover. So feel free, take that long runner arrow.
Okay, next one up we have is the Tome of the Water God, Al-Qadim, for the Yalari religion. It was sitting in Chauvel's pocket, but I thought it would be worth sitting in the group pile in case you ever want to have a character to know about that god and that religion. Unless Chauvel wishes it back.
So it's a water god?
It's a god. It's a book about the religion of the Yalari, which is the Arabian Night people.
Yeah.
And it's really focused on the water god Al-Qadim, or the time god as he is.
Yeah. Calcris wouldn't mind reading it, but she doesn't want to keep it.
In which case, then you can borrow it and put it back in.
Yeah.
Instead of just holding it on your character sheet.
Yeah. I'm going to have to make like a little library column.
Then, which may end up going to Fairy, which is the pink candy cane wand of Fairy Floss webbing. Would Fairy like that as a optional wand to go with Entanglement?
Absolutely. That sounds like we can continue the fight.
It's effectively a wand of web, is that right?
It is a wand of web that does a sugary, flammable fairy floss.
Yeah.
It has been fun today.
Okay.
But yeah, so unlike web, it's a little bit easier to get out of because you can eat your way out if you've got time.
You can. Next one is the drown, which will end up going to Yodri as part of the crushing wave side of things.
That seems bad.
The diamond hand axe is a hand axe of warning that Drazzle will lend out. You can grab it when needed, as is the same with the great axe. Except the great axe is a +1, and apparently I keep dropping letters. But hey, cut and paste does do that when you're doing it after 5 p.m. His flame axe and frost axe he won't lend out, neither will he his breastplate. But if Jeremy remembers early on in the Tuesday night campaign, Alcator has fallen and his Warhammer has become available.
Oh.
Rings a bell.
He was at the start of Tuesday night's game.
Yeah.
In sessions 1 to 10.
And who was he?
An NPC who was a big, oiled up, large minotaur with elk horns.
Ah, okay.
That Zarin was based around.
Yeah, yeah. And the axes.
So he was a hero of the Deer Clan.
Oh, well, that is probably something that's very Drachnima's alley, for lack of a better description.
Again, it would be one that if Drachnima had it, he would probably hand it on to a warrior hero of the Akurigan tribes who are leading in the war, but he wouldn't wield it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that is available for those in need. Then we have the Beacon Moon Touch Mithril Clan Chain Scale of Dragonkind that used to be Llewell's armor before he built newer ones.
Okay. Is that particularly helpful to anyone?
Probably not. It's just Mithril chainmail.
But we all know from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings that Mithril is all sparkly, sparkly, touchy, touchy, getty.
It is. And then there is Dimitri's Sentinel Stone Scale of Dragonkind and Good Luck that I believe Dimitri wants back.
Drachnima.
Drachnima.
Yeah.
Does he want it back?
Well, certainly he feels he can get good use out of it, absolutely, and he certainly has been getting good use out of it all the time.
So in which case then I have marked it back on his sheet to go back to him.
Marvelous.
I just thought I'd mention it that it was there because we hadn't talked about it before.
Yep.
Then we have the Ice Rune Boots of the Winterlands. They were currently in use by Llewell, and they would really suit either Yodri or Lani in that case.
Maybe talk to them about giving it over to them if it would suit them.
I know that
War's coming.
With the whole stuff coming, that Llewell would want to keep it, but Llewell also wants to enhance it, which would destroy the rune. Once one of these runes is on an item, the item can no longer be enhanced or touched.
Yeah, I'd say.
Well, if it is, it's destroyed, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You most likely consume the item in the process.
He could probably get something better that's not going to destroy something at
It's
the
like
same
saying
time.
you've got the word of God written on something. Because the greater runes are supposed to be the words of creation.
It's like making sure Lucasfilm or LucasArts is written on your Star Wars limited edition stuff so that it's genuine Star Wars stuff.
There's one of the Ovenkind boots, one of many, that Dimitri
They
gave
seem
up.
to be pretty common.
They are very common because they're the most common type of boot. Then we have the Berserker Axe that is good to just sit there if someone wants to take it later.
Yeah.
Now these were Drachnimir's robes that I thought may suit Dimitri more.
Yeah. I want to watch that fight happen.
Okay, certainly Jack Dimmer wears them, but yeah, he doesn't actually. The only thing he ever used out of the pack so far was the boat that still was left in Blanchery, and he's used one of the two patches of gems. So if he's giving it up, he might do it that pack off before he gives it away. But
So do you agree that that would suit Dimitri more?
oh well, Victor will certainly happily claim it, and Jack Dimmer probably won't fight hard to hold on to it. So they're getting Mick Malley after all where he'd be good.
I thought you'd appreciate the
Prestidigitation.
irony of that one. Then you've got the Ancient Oltec Dagger +1 that Llewell has been hoarding for a long time.
Has he been hoarding it for a good reason? Or?
Mainly because if he critically misses, he destroys the dagger.
Oh, okay.
Well, not that Jack Dimmer would use dagger very often. And actually, that's the metal one, isn't it? That's the rusty one.
It is metal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Jack Dimmer will probably be interested in it purely because it's connected with the other tech that he's got. But yeah, being metal, he's not so keen for. Even though he's allowing the rest of the insurgents to use metal,
I
he's
already
staying
have
true
10
and fighting
daggers.
can.
I don't need more.
So does anyone not have a dagger that would like a dagger?
I mean, unless it
Well, I
needs
think
one.
actually, I think Dimitri technically doesn't have a dagger anymore. Apparently, he gave up the fire dagger, and his other +1 dagger got destroyed when he tried to cut into a cybernetic
Yeah.
Creature.
Yeah.
paper core.
Okay, so in which case then taking on the Ancient Oltec Dagger would suit Dimitri twicefold because it is a relic.
Yep.
I'm sure, because Dimitri does sort of collect the relics.
Absolutely.
So the Eagle
And,
Whistle...
and obviously... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, the Eagle Whistle I put back on... on to Drachnamir. But for those
Well,
of you who don't...
Dimmer's happy to go. We'll be willing to lend it to somebody else, but he definitely wants to maintain it as an Akurican relic. So doing someone who needs to
So
fly
maybe lend it to
and
someone who doesn't have
knows how to blow a whistle. And if they're trained, they're circular breathing like Dimitri did, like Jack Dimmer did.
He spent a long time training.
Yeah.
Because you can fly as long as you can blow.
Yeah.
If you stop blowing, you fall.
And technically, because it gives fly speed twice your standard move speed, and his move speed is up to about 50-55 now, it gives him faster flight speed than his wing.
Yeah.
So that can be a worst case. You grab it on a night and then stick it back in the pile. And you got the same with the wolf cloak, even though I've replaced the C with an A for some reason.
Wolf cloak.
Yeah. For the C of cloak has been replaced with an A.
Ah, wolf alok.
Cloak.
Cloak.
So it's a cloaky sort of thing.
You've got it felt right. It is close. If you had to see there, it'd be a clock.
Oh no, that was about right. For some reason, my brain was not doing words right.
Oh, what are you talking about? We just got to see.
Okay, so it allows you to turn into a wolf.
Well, that's not that hard.
And occasionally will force you to turn into a wolf, but hey, that's not a bad thing, I'm sure. So,
which is the advantage of being held by a tourism member is that they never get forced into that same change. But
would Trallin like to have an ability to wolf shape?
No, I because I use weapons, I don't think so.
How about our new fairy dragon?
The fairy dragon loves the idea of getting a free wild shape.
Does Jeremy have any objections to that?
I will note it down as loaned to who?
Fairy.
Like, I'm not going to make you pronounce her name.
Sorry, what's the name?
FAE-REE.
FAE-REE.
Because, you know, she's a
Oh,
fairy
okay.
dragon.
Sorry, a fairy dragon named Fairy, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, her former owner had a heavy accent, which she wasn't sure if it was a nickname for her or if it was just him saying fairy.
Next up, we have the Null Wand, which is the Tradaran Bronze Null Wand of Fear, which probably no Tradaran actually wants to hold because it's another one of their racial boogeymen.
Is it? Well, can we destroy it then?
Well, you could, but then it's actually useful to a lot of people. Most likely, someone who likes to make people afraid.
Well, mark it down as to be destroyed at the end of the war.
I thought it was going to just go with Anton and his mask.
Technically, it could because the Anton's becoming the racial enemy anyway. So
I was going
I
to
am
say,
not becoming the
as far as that
That
goes,
is scandalous
it kind of
lie.
feels like it belongs with Anton, but we probably don't want to destroy it, so you probably don't want to...
I don't know, we've got so many magic items. One less wand in the world, it's not a bad thing. You give it to me and it will survive for a while.
you also have another set of chainmail for a Valvenkind called Leaf
Well,
Mail.
this one's actually made of leaves. It's effectively the protection of chainmail, but it's actually made of leaves,
Yep.
which is why Jack Dimmer was wearing it for quite some time, because it wasn't metal. But now he's worked out that he's actually better off with that armour.
Okay,
He's protected him from a Kurigan himself as part of his clerical capability. Means that he's better off with that armour.
next one up is which character really believes that they're a spy in training?
Eep does.
Not supporting character. So what this does is give you training in one of the secret crafts all about spying on things.
I don't know, that
That
sounds
sounds like-
really useful.
Yeah, honestly, like with the way Fairy kind of likes just to sneak around and trick people and have fun, the spy training sounds quite valuable.
There you go.
It had been sitting in Llewell's pile of lost items for a while. Tome of Radiance is not suitable for you to carry around at this time.
For who?
Anyone.
Oh, okay.
Unless, of course, you want gods to rain death down upon you.
No, I just, like, you're, like, not suitable for any of you, and I'm like, or for you, I think.
I don't know. It's probably good for that paladin of Ikea, wouldn't it?
Could work.
Sounds great to me. Can we just sneak it in his bag?
Yeah, except if he was to nuke his own paladin, he would take the rest of you out with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just make sure you send back the items you can buy first.
Russell can't collect them all. Next thing up is a tabard of the tree, which may suit either Trellin to have a tabard with elven connections to the Tree of Life.
Would it conflict with my cloak of displacement?
A tabard is not a cloak; it's a different part of the body.
Okay. And what does it do?
That at this stage, not much, but you will find out down the track.
Okay.
It's an elven relic to help you become more elvish since you're still practicing after being a halfling for so long.
It works with some of the items you've already collected.
Okay.
Then there's the champion boots of Theodil, which could replace the boots that we end up giving you. Which I think are an upgrade to the boots. So did we want to upgrade the boots you have there? Do you want the Kalari boots for the Royal Kalari boots or the champion boots of the clan you've got most of the gear for?
Yes, that's agreed. So I'll swap them out for the boots of the elven kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
both
obviously
of them,
the
both of
advantage of
them-
that is
yeah, both are boots of Elven
Right.
Pride. Just that one is for the Kalari and one's for the Theodel.
and the point being that with all your Theodel stuff, you can effectively attune them all into one slot.
Yeah.
It's certainly an advantage.
So Jeremy may end up back with the Kalari ones because that's who they came from in the first place.
Yeah, right, okay. But from Dimitri's perspective, when it comes to Elven Boots, and in fact, Dracnima as well, they haven't got particular association with any clan or things like that. So we go, well, which fits any back up with stuff you've got at the moment.
Yeah, I can give you my boots of Elvenkind and take the champion boots.
Okay, so which one of you believes that you're going to be the merchant of the group?
I think Dimitri
well,
Dimitri's more stuff than anyone.
Dimitri is certainly a wagon initiate. He's like a wagonologist doing it other time. And obviously he's always happy to read. That's like, okay, it's not particularly valuable for him more than others, I wouldn't think.
No, it actually gives you bonuses. If you're already initiate, it gives you bonuses to your character.
Okay, well, both Dimitri and Dracnima are wagon initiate. But Dimitri probably playing harder.
Okay, so there's the Elvenkind Cloak of the Tree, not useful to Trellin at this stage with his Displacer Cloak. Because this is an Elvenkind Cloak. Stealth Cloak.
Right. Yeah.
Stealth Cloak.
Yeah, most of you have other cloaks. Whereas the Calcrix has a Billowing Cloak.
Yes, but Stealth Cloak sounds more useful than a Billowing Cloak.
Possibly, but
remember
Pardon?
Go, Jeremy.
I was going to say the fact that, like, yeah, potentially having second cloak for a different purpose would be handy. The idea of, hey, if you want to be stealthy at times, you throw the Elven cloak on, but then if you're getting into combat, you want your cloak of displacement, or if you're going into diplomacy, you want your billowing cloak.
The other benefit is, as long as you got Dressel around, you can pull it out of his pack.
But what if Drazel's not around? And sometimes he's not.
Sometimes he's not. Next is another Elvenkind
cloak.
So, Stealth Cloak, the Protector Cloak.
Okay, another Elvenkind as opposed to Cloak of Protection?
It is an Elvenkind Cloak.
So just to have a quick sort of educational debate, what is the difference between my Billowing Cloak, say in terms of stats, etc., to having the Stealth Cloak?
It gives you a bonus to stealth.
Okay, and the Billowing Cloak?
Gives you bonus to first interactions with people for charisma-based skills.
Okay, Calcrix hands back the Stealth Cloak.
And then you've also got the Cloak of Protection, which basically is a bonus for armor class or saving throws. And you've got the Cloak of Displacement, which makes it hard to hit.
Okay, so the Sunspell Amulet and Mezakine Staffs aren't available. Neither is the Orb of Radiance, similar to the Tome of Radiance. The Ion Stone of Awareness is also available as a former character's item.
The Stone of what?
It's an Ion Stone of Awareness.
Okay.
A gemstone that gives you bonuses
Floats
to
around your head.
noticing things, or if you're a dragon, connects to your scales.
Okay.
I was going to say, particularly advantageous potentially for Calcrix and Dracnima on the idea that they can attack it without being in danger of being grabbed by someone.
As can Feyre.
And it allows...
And Anton as well.
Really?
Because you've got the scales.
And because it's called awareness...
My scales aren't that obvious, but yeah.
Because of the scales, you can attach them to the scales.
Okay. Awareness, while it's for you, it chimes... You can't be surprised.
I already can't be surprised, so no use to me.
Well, I wouldn't mind it then. Not being able
to... it's certainly very hard to sneak up on Dracnima.
Alright, so I've done that.
Though Anton does currently have 22 items,
Yep.
and Feyre has 11.
Okay, Favory
So-
gets it.
Yep.
I have been trying to spread things around
things
with
out.
people.
I'll take the Knoll wand instead.
Can I ask a non-game related question?
Yep.
I was going to make myself a crumpet. But do you want a crumpet?
No thanks.
What about
I
you?
would love a crumpet.
Alright.
I'll never say no to a crumpet unless I'm stuffed.
I'm a little bit hungry.
Okay, so the volcano.
I'm just putting it out there as another non-game thing. You guys are gross.
What?
I hate crumpets.
Eh,
So
when your hands don't work and the bread keeps going off, crumpets work.
next unavailable item is the volcano dagger, because as Jeremy pointed out, it was destroyed.
Mhm.
But it's listed there because
Accidentally.
it is an item. There was a option because Dimitri has multiple bags of holding. One of those could potentially be passed on to Trellin as a Kalari bag of holding. So it doesn't leave his group.
Oh, okay. So I'll take that.
Would Dimitri be willing to part with one of his multiple bags of holding?
I'll take
You've
it.
got a lot of stuff to carry. It's all part of the filing system. You've got different things in different bags. But no, I guess you can probably get away with it. Oh.
It is one of your oldest
Still in-
tokens. That's why it's a bit of an ask.
Well, that's okay. The fact that it's the waterboard, technically, if you've still got the gloves of swimming and climbing that Maya handed out, then he probably doesn't need the flotation device of the bag anymore.
Yep. Okay, so that was.
Well, the other factor that does make bags of holding and things like that good for Dimitri is he has put a lot of effort into his orthology type studies so that he can start being able to get extra vehicle spaces through teleportation. Actually, he wasn't actually tuning them yet, so I'm happy that he can get someone else right now.
And just for Jeremy's reference, Bradshaw's Bane dagger has been given to the halfling chef.
I did notice that one.
That's so funny.
So, brother-in-law to the person it's Bane of.
Do the other
Yeah,
newer players understand that though?
So Bradshaw, being a dwarf, all dwarves when they get their name are then given a prophecy of their death as described to me by the player.
Mm-hmm.
That player's specific prophecy was he would be killed by a friend stabbing him in the back of the head. And the amusing thing about this prophecy is it only occurs at their final death. They cannot be brought back to life after this event.
Mm-hmm.
So that is their. If they don't achieve this prophecy, they don't go to the dwarven happy realms. They go to the dwarven unhappy realms.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they actually
And
want
of
this
course,
prophecy to
Bradshaw-
happen, but they want it to happen as far in the future as possible. Go, Jeremy.
And to make it more amusing was the fact that Bradshaw joined up with Dimitri after Dimitri had been travelling for quite some time. And in Dimitri's travels, he happened to come across this random dagger that, oh, hey, it's a cool dagger. I wonder who Bradshaw is. And then he found out that,
So I
and
believe
then he
that was.
handed it off to the investigators.
I believe this was Dimitri's item that he wanted back. The amulet, Strong Hollow amulet.
Well, you say you look at the amulet of wound closure, but yeah, I had it as an amulet of health, or say an amulet of health. We give the 19 constitution. So obviously, we'll work out which way it goes and things like that. Because the amulet of wound closure is less valuable for Dimitri. He doesn't get hurt.
Yes. Okay, so there's also the Elven Guardian Boots of the Tree, which are more Elven kind boots. Not as useful as the Champion Boots.
How are they in comparison to the boots of Elven kind?
They're both, all three of them are boots of Elven kind. Just that the Champion
Can't
Boots
have
is.
extra.
So Champion Boots would be at the top because there's only one set per clan. Boots of the Tree would be assigned to the tree keepers and their staff.
Okay.
And there would be the clan chief boots. So the champion boots are as rare as the clan chief boots. And if you're running around with the clan chief boots, the clan chief is going to be very unhappy with you.
But he won't be on the basic because he'll be in defeat.
Okay, I'll keep my boots of Elvenkind.
Yeah. Then there's the 3-fire volcano goggles of night, which are gnomish goggles that click loudly when you use them. Because why would gnomes want to be stealthy when they can just show off their wares?
Exactly. Yeah. Show off how much better your stuff is.
And who wants to be stealthy when you're walking around in the dark?
Well, from a gnomish perspective, it's telling other gnomes that they're there.
They won't run into you.
3-fire volcano.
Yes, it's one of the gnomish settlements that is
okay. I thought it was. It did something like Vault.
So, 3-fire volcano is in the north of Galantry and is a former gnomish settlement. There's another one in the northern reaches.
Okay. It's a place name.
That's the point being, irrespective, they're goggles of night that give you dark vision. So people who can't see in the dark, you're better off being able to see in the dark but being a bit noisy under most circumstances. Hey, if you have to be stealthy, don't wear them. And keep on the back of someone.
Okay, next one is an interesting one that Jeremy will like. Its nickname is Bradshaw's Friend, and it's a dagger of seeking Bradshaw. So
it's the Bradshaw version of Hallow's Glade.
it is, except its actual name is Bradshaw's Friend, which you'll find actually matches the prophecy. Bradshaw's Friend doesn't actually have to be a
Yes,
person.
that's what I was thinking. Because
Dimitri's happy to hold it, keep it safe.
it should be carried by somebody who's travelling with Bradshaw.
I always want it so that eventually I'll give it to Yodri and then he can find Bradshaw. But I don't actually want to hurt Bradshaw, so I just think it's funny.
Which means this dagger. So this dagger has the potential of sending Bradshaw to his final rest, which he can't be brought back from.
Yeah, but
I thought that was Bradshaw's Bane.
Bradshaw's Bane can do it as well, but only if struck by a friend.
Oh.
This one can do it without being struck by a friend.
You have to do it at the head too. That's the other catch.
Yeah, back of the head, not the front of the head.
Exactly.
Yeah. The back's like if you wear a helmet with a slot in the back. Right, equally.
At the perfect spot for the dagger.
I suspect that that's probably one that Drazzle can hold on to, and therefore anybody can get access when they need it.
Which works. I'm sure Bradshaw will love that if he ever watches this video. Then you've got the shiny shirt, which is a mithril shirt, +1. Not all mithril shirts are bonuses.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
What the +1 gives is you can use it to downgrade any of your negative aspects of your affinities.
Oh, okay.
As well as give you a better life thing.
That's a negative aspect of being darkness aspect.
So that means if it reduces your effectiveness with a element, it reduces it by 1 level.
Okay.
And it's known as the shiny shirt. Then this is a former ring of Samir, the invisible ring that used to belong to Zeliga.
It's not the same as my Z ring, though.
It's a similar ring, same symbology.
Okay.
But it's a ring that can turn invisible.
Okay.
Can't turn the owner invisible, but it can turn the ring invisible.
Okay, I don't mind that.
And that's the ring of mind shielding, which would really annoy the fairy dragon if other members of the party were unreadable. Besides Galbrix.
Does mine do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason why I got mine.
But remember, Calcrix, you talked about your Z-ring. back online from Zelica.
Yes. Yes, we're on good terms.
And Jeremy,
That's what the G stand for.
I know.
Just so you know, the entire Friday group met Zalaga.
That's why I'm like, we're friends.
They stayed at your domain while you were away doing other stuff.
Where was my rent?
Zalaga gave them free accommodation and wine from your cellar.
Yeah.
Man, fucking north my tentacle.
And Caltrix, who never drinks wine, drank a dragon's worth of wine.
And just to make you feel even worse, Zal used his safety cup with your wine.
To turn the expensive wine into water. No digging there whatsoever. So did Anton, Zal, or Chevelle want a ring too?
I would particularly like that.
We have a
Why, I
speaker
thought you want me poking around in your head.
Oh look,
Probably a good to be happy with mind fielding.
at the moment, Kroshka talks to me telepathically.
If you put the ring on, he can't.
He can't talk to me
It
telepathically.
completely protects you from all telepathy. And you
Oh,
can't do
okay.
it
I thought
all.
it was just mind reading.
No.
Looks like it just became available again.
Yeah. Okay. Forget it.
And
Anything happy to protect his secret.
and the other thing is, if you have a sending stone, you will not be able to use the sending stone.
At the same
What
time.
if you take the ring off and then...
You would have to unattune from the ring if attuned to it to allow you to do so.
Okay, that's good to know. I might end up having a
So I'm quite happy to take the ring
handing
back, to
off
be
my
honest.
sending stone instead.
You might not be able to talk you might not be able to telepathy if you've
In
got it
that
on.
case, because
Well,
I don't have telepathy, I have mind reading.
The amulet that allows her to read minds is not allowing someone else's mind into hers, but the sending stone is basically putting the information into your mind.
Okay, I don't quite follow, but all right, whatever.
One-way communication.
Okay, it won't stop someone with telepathy sending stuff out. It just stops someone with telepathy kind of read your thoughts.
So you won't get messages back.
I can't get messages back anyway. It's reading, not
Okay, telepathy's even like electrical telepathy or the sending stones, you don't get messages back anyway.
That's right. Your medallion of thoughts wouldn't work on you because you're stopping getting something else into your mind.
Alright, okay, yeah, no, I'm good then.
So that's two people. It's no for.
So does that leave Dimitri?
Dimitri didn't want it either.
Oh, okay, yep.
I think
Dimitri is about use.
What about Zal or Cheval or basically anyone, because the Master has the capacity to influence and put people under their influence. So we have talked about getting mind shielding things. So
well, giving it to your flaming flying angel and stopping other people taking control of it and setting it against you might be nice.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. Particularly in the case of our Ixion following currently on our side Paladin.
Yeah. Maybe we can stop Ixion talking to him.
Maybe.
Give it to the paladin.
Yeah.
Do it.
But that also brings me around to the question of, does that mean my 2 sets of sending stones are completely useless? Should I be giving
You can
them...
unattune the ring and use them.
Okay, because I've always kept them for when our group has had to split up, so that we can essentially communicate. I had another question related to that, if my brain can hold on to it. Nope, it's gone. Please go on.
Well, before you go on, so I was going to say, so technically, if you've got sending stone and then a mind shielding, doing the mind shielding and therefore use sending stone. But the problem is, if you've got the mind shielding attuned, then when someone tries to send a message to you rather than you initiating the call, you probably won't get through.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay. I'm usually with someone who's going to be able to pass on the message. That was going to be my follow-on question. So if I've got telepathic bond and telepath type spells, will they work while I'm wearing the ring?
Potentially not as well.
Okay. So I might have to look into
Rehoming the ring?
Maybe. I don't really want to because of the mind shielding. Is there... And there might not be one that you know of at the moment. I might have to look into it. But is there something that shields you but doesn't render everything else useless?
I'll have to look at the exact wording of it.
Okay.
But the idea is it protects you from unknown invasion. Okay, so we've got the Saturnanian Traldar Bronze Wand of the War Mage +1 and Wonder.
Okay, I think I want that one.
So it is a Wand of Wonder. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
Wand of
Wonder is a lot of fun.
It's a Wand of the War Mage +1, so it really works with arcane casters, meaning more suited to Zal, Dimitri,
Yeah.
of all the group because they're the arcane casters.
Yep, fair enough.
Would Zal like a wand that makes caster work better?
I think the answer is always yes.
That sounds like it would be useful.
And it also has the ability to randomly completely screw off the field.
No. Okay.
Just ask Jeremy about how much it changed things in Hollow World.
Oh.
It sounds significant.
Yeah, it's going to come in. While Dimitri could get value from it, he's not putting his hand up for it.
It's sort of like once the hand is burnt, the hand doesn't want to touch it. So we have the Tome of the Thief God, which I'm going to put aside for later. Wave, which you don't have. The World Dagger, which isn't available. The World Plate, which isn't available. Which then brings us to Saki, the Sack of Sacks.
That was sitting in my question mark thing. I was thinking of grabbing it if nobody else wanted it, because I can think of a few scenarios where it might actually be useful, like say there's flooding or something and we need sacks to fill with sand.
That's all I could think of was making...
But the other thing is, you can also be sitting with Drazzle and you can pull out a sack at a time of need.
Yeah, that's, you know, so if no one else wants it, I will grab it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Lee Plum
He had not. I wrote down everything he wanted.
He
Okay, cool.
initially said he did, and then he had to think about it, and then he said after second thoughts, no, I don't want it.
Happy with that. But then, okay, considering its use is mainly as utility, if it's with Drazzle, that means that anybody can get attacked when they need them.
So leave with Drazzle?
You can leave with Drazzle.
Okay.
Next up is...
While Drazzle may not always be around, he's certainly usually around, and by the time you need Sacks and Sacks, you've probably got time to catch up with him if he's not actually immediately available.
All I've got to say for that is the GM likes us to grow complacent, and that's when Drazzle disappears.
Yep.
Next up is the Cube of Hallucinatory Terrain, otherwise known as the Cube of Strategy.
Okay.
That
hilarious.
sounds cool.
That is explanation.
It basically creates a hallucinatory terrain around it.
Yeah.
I was thinking of taking this
You say,
hallucinatory terrain. Is it exactly the same thing?
Never used did he take it off him? What?
Well, you've never pulled it out once and used it, and Drazzle does have sticky fingers.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of taking the spell hallucinatory terrain. This sounds like an ideal way to take it.
Actually, yeah, that'd
Though
be
I
good.
am thinking that whoever takes the north side of the lake will need it more than those on the lake.
Okay, that's true. We're on the lake,
We're on
aren't
the
we?
north. Tuesday?
So, Tuesday's
I
on
will
the
say,
south.
Martin, I have noted down, I can't remember but on that particular thing though, that it actually had -1 charges. So I think he might have used it
I've
once.
been looking at spells to do with water.
Yeah. If you're, is Friday group on the lake directly? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday group that's on the north
It's
side.
Wednesday going up north, so Dimitri should take it back again.
Yeah.
So
Dimitri wants it.
It may be actually more useful to Trellin from his way of being able to sneak places.
Oh, yeah.
Because it gives you two people to be able to affect
Yeah.
the terrain, because you do. Dimitri is a spellcaster.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
That's the main reason I considered putting it in the pile, was giving different characters capacity to work with the others.
All good.
Okay.
I'm happy to load it to Crellin.
I'm just going to check the
Yep.
list.
That's fine. Alone.
Tea?
It's all right.
You know how these loans work. Next one is the Dwarven Crossbow +1. For those of you who wanted crossbows but didn't actually get a crossbow, this is what I believe that Bradshaw really wanted but ordered the wrong thing.
Well, okay, coming up into what I'm going to ask you and go through the Dimitri stuff is, he picked up a crossbow +1 from Mia, which he definitely needed and used.
So I'll let it to Bradshaw then?
No, to Dimitri.
Okay.
Like, Dimitri used the crossbow quite regularly.
Okay, then we'll add it back to Dimitri.
Yep.
So that's the Dwarven crossbow. Okay.
Well, okay. Dimitri had a crossbow +1, no further details, that came out of the Mia stuff.
That's that one.
Is that one? That was that.
And that means the crossbow bolt also gets added to you.
Yep.
If for some reason they've got the same ID, I'll have to fix that. Oh well. They will be fixed. Then there are 5 cloaks of displacement known as the Umbersil cloak.
Well, I've already got my cloak of billowing.
Those of you who don't have
the point being, the cloak of billowing is something you want to do when you're in civilized areas and you want to make a good first impression. The cloak of displacement is something you'll wear while you're in foreign terrain, expecting an attack at any moment.
In which case, I would have taken the stealth cloak then.
I'll take both.
I mean, this
can
one,
wear
there
one
are
at a
5
time.
of these ones, whereas there's only...
there's more than 5 characters around, so I'll let everyone else have first choice, because
I've already got a cloak, I don't want to.
I also have blur. So
shall we add the cloak to Bryn and Imni?
could do, yeah. They don't have a lot of gear, and they're not here to ask up for themselves.
Does our fairy want a cloak?
Hey Martin, when you said you got 5 of those,
Yep.
there's Mia provided 6 of them at the time.
Yep.
Who's the one person who held on to theirs amongst the Wednesday group?
I believe Dimitri had one.
Well, that's what I thought they got to check on, was the fact that Dimitri's also got he got a cloak of displacement from the Dragon Tree Chapel. So if one of them is better than the other, he keeps the better one. And then, if they're all about the same, you probably have the Dragon Tree because it's more unique then.
But you might want the cloak of billowing as the additional feature, whereas I don't really want the...
Yeah, no, I would say that the cloak of billowing, and people who have a cloak of billowing, they keep their cloak of billowing, but people, if they've got a cloak of billowing, they should also get one of the Umbersil cloaks to wear when they're not wandering through the middle of town wanting to make a good impression. They'd rather not be hit by that first ambush volley of arrows.
It's a good frontline fighter thingy, so I'm adding it to Bradshaw, Plum, and...
and Barrior will take one as well, even though I've got multiple cloaks. I think it'll be yeah, it may be useful. She tends to want to be a different form where all the magic gets kind of consumed, so that's a bit tricky, but...
Okay, so that's 5 people with it. I think I actually ended up with 6 because we have 6 cloaks in the end. I forgot about one of them. Okay. That's where we have the gloves that I believe Dimitri wanted. So go back to Dimitri, the moving gloves.
So now the acting body flotation bag of holding, you need to be able to swim.
And then we have the Dwarven bag of holding. Who wants a bag of holding that they can't teleport with?
One's enough for me.
I think you can get an indication of Dimitri's generosity. Bring it up. Or loading it out.
In which case, it will stay in the pile until someone wants it.
Dimitri will hang on to it then.
Okay, so it's...
With the practice and work out how to practice teleporting with it, eventually.
Next up is the bone necro staff, called the white staff or black staff.
What's that?
It's a probably staff best suited to our Zal necromantic wizard cleric.
Okay.
I was going to say, what does it do, just out of curiosity?
Works with dead things.
Not ominous at all.
Exclusive to...
I don't have the entire breakdown here with me, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
I have to look up the book and find it.
I've already got
Okay.
2 staves. The third seems excessive.
Does it destroy the dead things, though, or...?
Maybe.
Okay.
My name
By the name of the thing,
my
it
name would
probably gives
reanimate
away.
them or talk to them or do things like that.
It's just that because of her interactions with Queen of the Dead, Calcrix is developing an interest in...
Queen of Darkness, not the
Queen of
Dead.
Darkness, sorry. She's developing an interest in undead type stuffs.
Then is a third Moonblade.
So what's the difference between... So I've got a Moonblade, a short sword of the dark, and this Clavet Moonblade.
So the clan Moonblade is different to the Clavet Moonblade. The Clavet Moonblade is a lesser blade,
Okay.
whereas the champion Moonblade is... So the Clavet clan has pretty much fallen apart, if not disappeared.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's considered a minor blade compared to the major blade you have.
Yep. All right.
It also means that someone who's wielding it, particularly if they're not an elf, they're less likely to get come rampaging elf say, that's mine! Build on.
But yeah, the Flame Tongue, the Fire Sword is awesome.
So
As long as you're not immune to fire.
So the Clavet Moonblade might be a great thing to pass on to Bryn, maybe, or Imni.
Maybe see if they want it.
They can basically pipe up when we get a chance.
Yep.
Then we have the Healer's Mace coming from one of the Wednesday group as well.
That sounds like a contradiction. A healer's mace. Because a mace is
No,
a
no,
fairly
because-
destructive weapon.
We
No, no,
kill you with kindness.
it just knocks you out. It actually it just does good dual damage.
Oh,
It's
does
a
it,
club.
does it only knock people out?
Yeah, it doesn't kill.
I
Made
might
of
put my
rubber.
hand up for that if no one else wants it. Or if it's not suitable to someone else. What's it called? A healer's mace?
Healer's Mace, yes.
Because in terms of actual weapons, I don't have a lot.
Of course, when the dragon wields it, it grows in size.
That's fine.
It
I've
becomes
now got
clever in
something to
time.
go with my shield. Because I don't technically have any weapons aside from my shield.
And then for the archers who don't have magic bows, there's the antler bow.
Ooh.
Which I think Jackdem is currently interested in.
Which is what
He
I was also
prefers
going to say.
longbows, but he's also well skilled with short bows. So. And he was not into the dark longbow, so.
So that
Yeah.
was what we had thought previously, but had never been actually given across.
Yeah, well, it was one of the. Because it was a short bow, it wasn't perfect for Jackdemmer, but he certainly. I think the only archer left that doesn't have a magical bow, and so he will certainly hold it if no one else
If you
is
keep
using
your
it.
hand sort of low but still, he'll come and sniff it.
So who would like a magic shield?
I already got one, and I'm pretty sure you can't beat Bahamut's shield.
No.
No.
You skipped over the Elven Chain shirt.
Yeah, if it's another mithril shirt.
Okay, no one wants the mithril shirt +1. I don't think they're going to go for the mithril shirt normal.
Okay. No worries.
I think he's just claiming ownership of the house.
Does anyone have a desire for a shield +1?
Does
If not, I
anyone
will
need
add it
Oh,
to Bryn.
Okay, presumably any fighter type that uses shield occasionally would be handy to have.
Well,
so.
I had pitched the original shield I gave to Bryn and gave it to Chauvel, so I thought it'd be good to give one back.
Is one back? Absolutely.
Next up is a silvered weapon. So it's a weapon that treats its targets as silver, as if it's silver.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good for those people wearing that mantle cloak, the wool cloak. Against them.
Wouldn't that be the fairy? Fairy?
It's a fairy. It's a fairy alert.
So I shall give it to Imni then.
So, do you want a pet?
Hello.
Because hey, having someone with a silver weapon and a rampaging wolf is probably a good thing.
You nothing like attention. You don't get enough of
Don't
it.
worry about it, guys. Just forget about it.
Oh, he gets enough.
Here is a helm that really works well with Zal's saddle.
Head pats the most.
Oh, okay.
It's the helm that matches the saddle.
You're all fair.
Yep, the cavalier's helm. You get actually part of the Griffin set?
Hello.
It's a part of a set item, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put you down in a minute. You're getting too heavy.
But give it to the good out of
When
there.
you put the claws in, it's always a bit.
Yeah, Imperial chainmail is just another type of chainmail, but it doesn't shorten its thing. There is a magic shield called Storm Shield. I think that actually works better with Bryn with her Storm Focus. Would have been great for Samir, but unfortunately Samir left.
That's okay.
Happy? Yeah,
We have a hand axe of returning +1. It's only got the +1 bonus when you throw it. It doesn't give it to you on a normal melee attack. Is this something we should pass on to Plowman, Mr. Axe?
Yes.
Okay, Palmer, okay, Jack Nimmo is obviously good, like very good with hand axes, but one of the metal-headed ones.
And then we have, I believe that's a cloak called Oath of the Green. So suitable for our fairy.
Sounds interesting. I'll take another cloak, I guess.
Well, as Jeremy's pointed out multiple times, you can swap them round.
That's right.
Sure. That is true.
Next
Yeah,
is
different
another.
purposes for different situations.
Next is another stone of good luck. Would yeah, I don't think Drachnemy would want to replace that with another stone.
Well, unless, okay, the big thing with the code he's got is A, it's a dragon scale, so it's doing straight in, but B, on the original relic stuff, it's fitted in well, so.
Anybody can use the stone of good luck.
Anyone
Yeah.
can, yes.
Depending upon what the changes are to the relic aspect though, one thing that previously was humans got more value out of it than anybody else, because it became effectively for a lot of humans to become +2 potentially instead of +1.
And you're human, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm moving the bonuses to crafts because the
Yeah.
whole thing was supposed to be working with crafts.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
But would it
yeah,
still
so
be
that may not be
useful
relevant.
to Anton?
Useful to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take it if no one else wants it, but you know, as I say, anyone can
Right.
use that.
It's a +1 to all your skill rolls, saving throws, and all that kind of stuff. So it's useful for everybody.
I've got a track record of trying to climb on a griffin.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had quite a few times where things have gone badly. But that's basically going through all the stuff that we have there. Just so you have an idea, Bradshaw has a bunch of stuff that works with him. He's got an unbreakable adamantine suit armor and many hammers. So he's got a hammer
Keep
focus.
losing them.
He has had that problem. Bryn's got a lot of weapons plus a couple of books. Because, hey, it's always handy to know a few things.
So as I was mentioning, I've got 2 sets of sending stones.
Mm-hmm.
Should I be handing one set of those in for somebody else to make use of?
At this stage, I'll need to add them in, but I don't have them on here yet.
Okay, alright, so...
We'll work out.
And if you've got a sending stone that happens to be connected to each of the each of the other groups, that's a good thing.
Yeah, they're 2 sets of 2, and as far as I know, they haven't been connected to someone particularly. They're just, we got caught out once, and then when I had a chance to buy sending stones, I'm like, I'll take 2.
Yep, and you can then contact people on need. So Imni has a bunch of stuff that's useful for Imni, including a Wand of Fear. That's just a standard Wand of Fear, so it could potentially be swapped out with any of the other ones because Imni would have no qualms about gnolls in preference of other things.
Or to go dual Wands of Fear.
Lani has a bunch of stuff herself, including quite a few weapons and a fast paddle, which will always be handy.
Yep.
The rainbow robe that I've got, do you happen to know what its uses are?
No.
Because that might potentially be something that the Fairy wants. Because it's a rainbow robe. But I'll
find out
wait
when I
until
go
you
through the
look
items.
into it. They're the only things I can really see that anyone else might be able to use. Most of the stuff is particular to me.
So Jeremy had noted down on his thing that he sent me that he had the dragon pauldrons, even though we had talked about Llewell getting it based on...
And on mine it was... I knew there was someone else who was being talked about, and I couldn't remember which way it had gone. So I'm happy that it's gone to Llewell. That's not something that's worrying.
That's why I thought I'd bring it up and put it in there.
Yep, happy with that.
So people actually knew where some things went, and he does have his own Moonblade, so he doesn't need another Moonblade.
You've got your personal Moonblade.
So Plowman has a bunch of blood-based weaponry, which means he should be able to beat up things quite well from now on, if he can get on his horse.
Well, what he couldn't before.
Well, of course he says he's undefeated because other people keep defeating it for him.
Yeah. And it's all the fact that the only reason he's still around is because Dimitri went back into the spaceship before they all got killed.
That is true. Of course, he didn't remember being defeated, so that was to his advantage. And and we had Yodri getting most of the water-specific items, whereas we had Chauvel getting the fire-specific, we had Zal getting the air-specific, we had Anton getting the earth-specific.
That's because they're all members of these cults.
Because those things will come to light in the start of next season, relating to what's actually happening to them.
Considering I'm there because I represent a connection to entropy, do I have all the entropy specific stuff I need?
You
My
do.
black
You
got the Book of the Dark Queen.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's fine. I was just checking because I'm like, I have a feeling I'm missing something here, but if I'm not missing something, I'm good with that.
And you're also appropriating all the other elements, so...
Yeah, that's a conversation I need to have with you about my next appropriation and how long that's going to take.
Another 4 levels.
Ah, damn.
Level 16.
Damn. For an impatient person like me, that's a long time to wait. Doesn't mean I'm not thinking about it.
So yes, at the start of next session, you will be thrown into the deep end of war.
Okay.
With a few things to ask on the day, so be prepared for a couple of questions to determine where you end up in the war.
So what do you still need from us? You need the description of the character if we haven't done it already.
So we got one example up there from Anton.
Anton, yeah. And then you also, for me, for instance, a list of
items that haven't made it into the list yet.
That I'm not sure whether I have or not, but at least I've actually written it down, so that's further than I've ever got before. And is that because you've done these 2 sessions with everyone else? Does that mean everyone else is pretty much covered?
Well, everyone else is pretty much covered. That they will need to send me information about them. They weren't able to make it, so couldn't do much about that.
Okay, so people like Elise and Ross and
Sue.
Yeah, all of those people will need to check in with you about items, but everyone who was able to attend either Wednesday or Friday, they should be okay as far as their items. Is that right?
Yep, unless they've got something that they've written down on the character sheet that I have dropped off along the way.
And that they want to make sure it's back on there. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Otherwise,
I think I only have one, but it's not terribly important.
I'd send it to Martin even in text.
I need to find out what its name is again. It's written down somewhere. I've never used it for a very specific reason, but who knows? It might need to be used in this war. Who knows?
It's a good idea to track it down then. So I guess if anyone's got items like that, then they definitely need to track you down and tell you what it is.
And obviously, the other important factor is where your character's level 12.
Yeah.
That is an important part.
So, I know you'll probably help me, but say I didn't have you to help me, where do I even start?
No, you pretty much need me.
I need you?
There's
Yep.
no books we can look up for that.
So if people need you, are you available?
I am available. Sunday's probably the best day to grab me if you got free time.
Yep.
Next week's going to be sort of juggling things, so Monday night may also be free.
Yep. Yeah, okay, so Sunday or get in touch with you and find a time if they want to either do it online or come in person. And of course the advantage of coming in person is if you like coffee or hot chocolate, you can have that here. Or tea.
Out of curiosity, are people aware that you can look at like a significant amount of the level up rules online?
Yeah.
Just that the dragon specific class is not available.
Oh, yeah, the campaign stuff won't be available. But
I'm special in two ways. Using any electronic device is like giving myself 3,000 electric shocks every time I touch the electrical field that goes across a digital device of any type. So me and electrical devices not so happy. So Martin with all these books is better. Plus, as Martin said, I'm a dragon, so he's kind of built that to be fair in this world.
Yep. Exactly. I think that you have the both computer talk them up directly, but for those who may not be able to get there at certain times, or you can certainly look at the rules and have an idea of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
In that kind of way as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot of links and things on Martin's site that I've been trying to use, but...
which will get rebuilt over the next month, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the other question, Martin. Obviously, you've been updating all this magic item stuff on the your work site type stuff. Are you planning on publishing that list onto the main site in the near future?
I'm hoping to, but I've got to get it to a point where it's not breaking for my alternate week games.
Okay, yeah. No, that's not just a case of uploading immediately. Happy with that.
Unfortunately, if I push it through, it will break those games.
Not what to do yet, then. That's good.
I have gotten a fair way through in that time, so it's almost complete. I've just got to finish a few things off, and then it can publish.
Cool.
Probably by the end of March, it will be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully by then, the full details of the magical items will also be ready.
Yeah, good.
So I'm trying to work a few things in at the same time.
There's no way we can help you with that, is there?
Not easy, because I've got to balance it all.
Yeah. Because you're doing coding, it's not something that...
So, as that's the end of what we needed for the game, I was going to go to end credits and then talk to you about stuff outside of that. So, there'll be more surprises for those who are watching the video. Okay.